Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you can hear me okay. I hope the audio is all right. We'll give it a minute to sort of level out here. Throw me some ones into the chat if you can hear me okay. And if the audio is well, I guess that's the same thing as hearing stuff. If you can see me okay. I understand some people might not want to see me. Face made for radio and all of that. But hey, let me know how it is doing. And if I can be so bold, I would love to kick this live off with everybody showing some love to my boy Daniel in the chat. He just went through quite the ordeal health-wise, and his lovely wife was reaching out to me. Lots of prayers for you, my man. I'm very happy to see you in the chat here, sir. I hope you are having yourself an awesome Saturday. So if everybody can show this gentleman some love, I would greatly appreciate it. That was not an easy thing to go through, sir. My thoughts and prayers were with you. I'm very glad you're doing better. So it is Saturday night. We are hanging out in Lucky for the final time. Lucky 1.5 as it is. Because next time I do a live stream, hand to God, this build will be done. That is my plan. I am decreeing it right now. Because you got to have goals. So anyways, I'm going to start with some hellos here to everyone. I'm going to go back here a bit. Thank you so much for showing some love to Daniel. I greatly appreciate that. We got Stingray in the house. We got Rocking Horse Exploration Paranormal in the house. Why am I saying in the house? We are literally in the van. Nancy Shad is here. Jackie Lucky Angel. Bikes and Sales. Upstate Chillin'. Vernon is here. Hello, sir. Wolf Howl 62 is here as well as DJ. Simply DJ. You might want to have a conversation with Aaron if he ever shows up, but welcome to the live chat. Kathy Wright Johnson. Margana Full. Darling, how are you? Gary Newton is here. Scarlett WH, as well as Debbie Brunetti, Lynn Valenti, Helene Broke. She broke up the rhyming of the last names there. That's okay. Keto Auntie is here. Hello, hello. How are you? Mary Murray is here, as well as Crystal Connors, my boy Daniel, of course, Sheila Kane, Oliver, Lily Sping Gypsy. How are you? I feel like I always screw your name up. I could be wrong. Maybe I've never said your name before, but I feel like I screwed it up that time. Tammy Brown, she's avoiding her taxes right now. Alan Schaefer is here, as well as Georgianne White. My apologies. Sabrina Page, Vanlife with Brandon, Michelle Swanson, Cindy, just me in my van. Hello to you. Happy Saturday. Jeff with a G, Rachel LeDuc is here. Sharisa Davis, Eyes Wide Shut, ICU, Yukon Sunshine is here, as well as Patricia Holiday, Robin Petrie, Phoenix Adventures, Simply Two Fun Crafts, otherwise known as Cammy. Hello to you. Dre is here. Didn't get his doctorate though. He's just Dre in the van. Maria Conley, as well as Curtis E. Hello, sir. Always good to see you here. We got Danny Felice. I hope I said that right. Likedale 3. My brother with the other Dixon obsession. Michelle Swanson. Did I say your name already? I'm not sure, darling. You deserve to have it said twice. Karen Shields. K. Regatta. Alberta and Stella. It is your house. She's not wrong. So we can get away with saying that. Economic Refugees RV. Nailed it. We'll go with that. Jeremy Robson. Borealis Nights. Hello. All the way over there into good old Red Deer. Good to see you, sir. Jake Can, Jason Sect, Long Distance Traveler Music, Brenny, Bobtailed Trucker is here. Hello. Time lapse, the build, get it done. Voice over the rest. Yeah, that's not my style. Pamela is here, as well as Underscore. The weather is crap. Well, not compared to Alberta. It's just rainy and gross here right now. David Say is in the van. David M is in the van. Tiffany Bird is in the van. Lynn Carter's in the van. Debbie Breeze is in the van. Karen McNamarama. That's a fun last name to say. Phoenix Adventures is here, as well as Carrie Jean, Pat, and I think I'm almost all caught up. There's These Amazing Places, all the way down from Florida. Bet you're having some better weather than I am. Maryland 080861. I don't think that's the name your mother gave you. Hello, as well to Oak Tree. We got Aussies, Carolyn and David. Hello. Michael Tichonik. Did the best I could. Margie Zagard is here. Shiny Nickel Blades, otherwise known as Nicole. Hello, how are you? Deborah Knapp, Virginia in the rear view, otherwise known as my girl Lisa. So excited to see you this summer. CFQC is here, as well as, did Bill Brunson already get a shout out? He deserves a second one. Why the hell not? Relevant Traveler is here, as well as Sugarology. Robert LaFortune. Ooh. Hey, Matthew, how are you doing? And how is Penny doing? And Little Pie Princess, we're all doing very well, sir. Thank you for asking. We got Barb McManus. I definitely said your name because it sounds so cool. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I shouldn't be so sure of myself. Confidence through the roof. No, man, Dave's not here, says Bobtailed Trucker with a super chat. Thank you, sir. I don't know who Dave is, but I appreciate the super chat, sir. Very kind of you. All right, we're going to play catch up here. If you're just joining us, hanging out Saturday night, the final live stream in the OG build, and it's not even the OG build anymore. The only thing that remains now are the hanging cupboards. Everything else is pretty damn new. I mean, if you want to nitpick, the floor is the same. So it's here. This will be the last live stream in the OG Lucky. And any questions you might have about van life or the build, I will do my best to answer them. We find it best to put 3 Qs before what you have to say in the chat. Helps it stand out for me to potentially see it. I do apologize if I missed your question. If you really, really want me to get to it, just keep asking, and I'll do what I can. I'll put my people on it. Uh-oh, we've got visitors. Hello. People are already knocking on the door. Oh, this will be fun for her. Open up. Say hi. You're live on YouTube.
Oh, Candygram.
What?
Candygram.
Candygram? You got candy for me? You're getting my candy? Get out of here. This is my sketty.
Candygram.
You're that shark, aren't you?
Also her. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello. How long have you been live?
9 minutes.
Oh, wow. So you're still saying hello to everybody?
I was. I'm exhausted already.
Oh, goodness.
My voice is leaving me. Yeah, they're
Your
finishing.
Your voice is leaving you.
It's never going to happen. It'll be a cold day in hell. Do you want some? This stuff's great.
What is it? Why
Sketty.
is it so skinny? Oh, this is what you were telling me about.
Yeah. I got a bunch of it from Australia. That was a watermelon flavored one. Don't make your face. Undo your face. Unclench, as you would say.
Unclench.
Unclench your face.
It's just all your holes get clenched.
She's not wrong.
Oh, you got your Christmas lights on?
Who won the crib game?
Me.
Did you?
I got 18 points at my last hit.
That'll knock her down a peg.
She's like, that was good as the cards go away.
We're not playing again. Playing crib with my mom. Awesome. You guys back to Sanctuary?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's lots of people here.
Camaro Sean says you're so cool. Camaro Sean, don't know.
Camaro Sean's having an aneurysm.
We're sorry for your luck,
Camaro. Watermelon is my favorite. I'm hooked on it. See, Patricia knows.
No, but watermelon doesn't taste like watermelon.
Exactly why I like it. I know, because I'm not a big fan of real watermelon. But artificial watermelon, man. When did you plan on having the first live stream? When do I? Zip Jumper's already asking. When are you gonna do the first one on Lucky 2.0? In 2 weeks. 2 weeks time.
The first one, what?
First live stream when the build's done.
You're gonna do another one in 2 weeks?
That's kind of what I've been doing.
No, that's fair. What about one in 1 week? You could say 1.75.
That's if I make that much.
1.8872.
25% progress in a week. Oh my god! I'll lose it. What else we got here? Snazberries.
Hello.
Hi, Lindsay and Sadie from K.
Hey, hello.
See, Curtis, he gets
That's
it.
Debbie.
Oh, there's Debbie F. She's the queen of the QQQ and the SSS. I think that means statement.
What is SSS? There's statements?
I think that's when you want to just make a statement and you want the person to read your statement. SSS.
Oh.
Somebody slipped and put 3 Ks once.
No,
We've
no,
never
don't
heard
do
from
that.
him again. Hasn't been seen since.
What did Kevin do?
Right. Right? Where's Kevin? I don't know. Oh, Lindsay was Oh, sorry. And now we got to ban Happy Coffee Van Life for using stupid emojis. But she said hello to you too.
Oh, hi, Amber.
But I just put her in timeout.
She'll just text me later.
She'll just text me later. Yeah, no kidding.
Well, now that she can't talk, she'll probably text me right now.
Yeah, exactly. Banned.
Created.
Right?
GUH is what's going to come.
That's it.
Like, I'm sorry. Oh, Sadie would like all of the attention.
No, I would like to be in.
Here we go.
No.
All of the attention. Come say hello. It's only 360 people, Sadie. You'll be fine. She's like, I'm out.
I just wanted my.
Hello?
What is it? A sliver of my face to be there. I hello.
Hello. Is it me?
She immediately turns and walks away.
I can see you're ruining me right now.
You're ruining me right now.
I
Oh,
have
man.
recommended teachers.
Hello, everybody who's new. I'll get to everybody in a minute.
Amber. Damn it. LOL.
She just texted you. Damn it.
recommend-
Nailed it. Amber's already crying the blues.
Oh, and I missed your previous text. Sorry, Amber.
Oh no, she texted during dinner.
So, but it's all good. We can do
Stinger says, Sadie, 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 Sadie.
Oh.
Sadie's got a big fan. It's right here. We're going to highlight it. Sadie, 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 Sadie. Like how she's kind of bouncing. to
Yeah,
the beat.
just the little bounce. But you're just like half a shard of face.
Not even. She's like, that's it. That's all I need.
Is Kay still here?
This
I gotta
much.
say, Kay, I'm out. Bye.
Well, she sat on that for a while, didn't she?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
This is why we drink.
This is, well, I'll be able to drink later.
Love it.
Alrighty,
There you
we're
go.
going to take off. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Sounds
Safe
good.
travels.
Yes,
Put
you as well.
together your.
I'm working on it.
It's not even warm in here.
It's because the door's been open for the last 5 minutes.
Oh,
Funny how that works.
wow. Bye-bye, then.
Bye-bye. Lisa, thank you so much. Sorry, it's only $10. Bus build and travel is killing me. I'm getting some inspiration from your build. Inspiration. Lisa, thank you so much. I'm glad you're making progress on your build. Everybody else who just joined us, probably with everything that was just going on, hanging out, answering questions, having a good time. If you got any questions, throw them into the chat. Throw 3 Q's on the front. Help me see them. It helps if they're capitalized, but we will do this. Oak Tree says, are you changing out those curtains on the back windows? Yes, I will be. I actually found somebody left a comment on one of my Instagram posts of this company. Oh, there's another visitor. We're never going to get through anything.
Why was that light on in the back? What's it lighting up in
The back of the van.
Why?
You can unplug it.
Okay, I shall.
It's the work light.
Well, you're not working.
Not right now,
No.
but it'll be
Well,
dark when I get out and I'll be scared.
Use your
Did you
phone.
say hello?
Hello, everyone? this will take the place of my going on and typing. Hello, son.
Oh, there you go.
Hello, everyone.
Chat's about to explode with hellos to mother.
Oh, there you go. Fine and dandy. Okay. Well, don't be scared.
And here, funny story. I turned off all the lights in the basement because I had an idea that you might go down there and then come out here and give me crap for leaving all the lights on down there. Yeah, you came out in just this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Yes. Oh, amazing. Okay, sorry. Where's me? Where's me? Yeah. Going back to the curtains on the rear doors back there. Those ones. Yes, I'm actually gonna probably pay those forward to Amber. She said she wouldn't mind having them for Regina because I found this company. Those were made by a subscriber, by the way, and I've had them ever since. Priscilla, thank you again so much for those. But yeah, time to sort of like update the whole thing. And this subscriber left a comment on an Instagram post, led me to a company I'd never heard of that actually makes magnetic insulated covers for all the vans. And you can get them, you can like piecemeal it together. So there's rear windows, there's the side windows, and then there's the front windows and the windshield. So I'll definitely be getting the rear ones. That way I don't have to block those windows off. And I think they're just nice, simple gray. They're going to go real well with the color scheme I sort of going to have going on in here. And yeah, that's where that is. So I missed a bunch of cues there. If you got them, say them again. Let me see what we got here. So old Dixon's is curtains. No, see previous statement, but that would be funny, and that's probably something that will happen in the future. Hi, Chris. How you doing, buddy? Always good to see you here. Oh, well, we got what from Rachel. She says, how's your cut doing? With this one, or the newest one? You got to be specific. You're probably talking about this one. It's pretty much all healed. This is the one that I got from my Leatherman, and it's looking pretty good. No stitches required. What did you use to glue the magnetic bracket for your light? Mine keeps falling off unglued when the van gets hot. Oh, that was literally just, you mean like those ones like the removable battery rechargeable ones or whatever? The hell is battery rechargeable? Just the 3M tape that came with them. If that's what you mean. That's the only ones I can think of, unless you mean my motion lights. And again, just the 3M adhesive that they came with. If you're having trouble, I wouldn't go with glue. I would go to a place like Canadian Tire and go to the automotive section and get some 3M tape right from there, like in the automotive one, not at the paint section. Go to the automotive section. That's where the good shit is. That's for like holding on badges on the outside of cars and stuff. That's my recommendation, Rachel. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna play all sorts of catch up here. Barbie Evil says, hey, Matthew, I know you play a lot of Celtic music. Do you like the Pogues? Lash is the name of the album. Pogues, Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash. And the Lash. Give it a listen. I do like the Pogues. I've listened to them before. I've never gotten into them where I got them like on my like playlist or whatever. I should probably add a few more of their songs though. All right, hang on. Here we go. Oh, One Aussie's Adventure goes towards the power bill. For leaving the light on. Thanks, Ian. I appreciate that, sir. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your huge 40-kilometer hike yesterday was well worth it. You're a crazy man. Crazy, crazy man. Benny, or Brenny, apologies. Thank you very much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. So not old Dixons as curtains. Are we still on that one? No. You don't turn Dixons into curtains. You wear Dixons or you sell them or keep them in storage. Mitzi, treats for my girl Penny. Thank you very much, Mitzi. That's very kind of you. I was actually just downstairs right before the live stream. I gave her some treats. She's doing very well. I'm very curious to see how she's going to react when she is back in the brand new build here. But thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it. Do you have paint protection film for Grace? It's protection against the rock chips and it's clear. I do. I have it on the hood, which now it's got extra protection because I got that bug deflector on it as well. But yeah, that came with like the package that I initially purchased. So that is on there. I'm not a big fan of it, honestly, because yes, it protects from rock chips, but it still like pops up from rock chips. So the bug guard that's on there now covers it, but it had a nick and then the protection film was like pushed up, kind of like, it kind of almost looks like it's melted a little bit. So yeah. But it is on there. That's the one right there. Relevant Traveler, Sarkozy's. That's the company that makes the window magnetic blocker thingies. Just so everybody knows. Tiffany, you acted a little too late. How does your parents feel about you living in a van? I'd say pretty okay with it. It allows me to be out here a lot more often than it would otherwise. Darren! That is not in the form of a question. That is unacceptable. But hello, sir. Okay. Oh, we're way behind. Sarkozy from Bobtail Trucker. He also, it's not a new company. Lots of people are aware of it. I just had no idea it existed. And yes, this is a very true statement. That's what I'm kind of working on. I'm not working on it. Hang on. That would be nice. And it is an idea that I had. Maybe one day I'll make enough noise to Dixon. We can get that. That'd be a great collab. I can make it longer, Amber, if it wasn't long enough. Okay, things are okay. I'm going to start. Wow. I'm drinking tonight. We are drinking Dead Man's Fingers, the UK's finest spiced rum, in my humble opinion. There we go. Navigating the destination. Good evening, Matthew and everyone. How much more do you have left on the van build? Well, if I'm guessing, Blair, right? But the whole point of this live stream is live from Lucky 1.5 to hopefully 50% left. That's why Lindsay made the joke earlier about maybe the next live stream will be live from Lucky 1.75. And hilarious. But yeah, I'd say roughly 50%. I'm at a point right now, Blair, and I apologize. I know I wasn't sharing too much on Patreon today because I'm trying to just like buckle down and get her done. But I'm at a point where it's a lot of cutting and then painting. And of course, as you know, you got to wait for paint to dry, right? So it's kind of like sitting around twiddling my thumbs a little bit. Lindsay and Sadie popped over though today. They're at the tail end of their little spring break for Sadie trip that they were on. They went out to Vancouver. Now they're on their way back to Calgary. They're actually staying over at Sanctuary with Byron for the last couple days here. They're actually headed back to Calgary tomorrow. So I took time today to just hang out and chill with Lindsay, and we talked about the upcoming camping season and all that good stuff. So not a lot got done today. A lot got filmed, not a lot on the van, but I will say this: there's 3 pieces of cut wood over between the boats that are drying right now. So that's where I'm at. Okay. How do you plan for long-term and it's in retirement? Any plans? My plan is to make it so big on YouTube I don't have to worry about retirement. That's a horrible plan, but it's a plan nonetheless. Oh, Nicole, maybe. Stay tuned for Monday's video. Okay, let me see here. What is this? Amber's drinking Coors Light. That probably means that somebody left that behind in a room today. Okay, sorry everybody. I'm gonna just everything looks sorry. Okay, I'm trying to play catch up here. My apologies. Scarlett WH. Everything looks good so far. Have you decided whether to put a cabinet on top of the bed on the head side? Oh, on the head side. The head side would be like where my head goes is the back. I have to sleep sort of like head at the back, feet in the middle of the van. But yes, I'm probably going to put another hanging cabinet on this side. It's probably not going to be as long or as wide as this one. So it'll be closer to the wall, because the one thing that I noticed with this one over here is I just kind of built it willy-nilly. I didn't really measure it. I just like, oh, this looks like it'll be a good space to store clothes. And it absolutely has been, but it is sort of a awkwardly long distance for like the clothes that I have. And when I say the clothes that I have, I really do mean the flannels. So I could shorten them up, and I'm not really losing space, if that makes sense, because the shirts take up a little bit, and there's just enough left where you can't really put anything. And when you fold stuff up nicely, it kind of gets tossed around in transit. So I could make them a little shorter, and yeah, just not the whole length, because I don't think I'd want the entire thing to be a hazard for my head. That'll probably be one of the last things I do. I may not even be in BC when I build that. Anyway, okay. Long distance traveler music. I'll do my best to answer this question. Do you think 110 LED lights plugged into the inverter draw significantly more than 12 LEDs running straight into the 12 volt on the house battery? Yes. What? If I understand your question, I would say yes, just because the inverter draw would be there as well. Is that a trick question? Seems very scientific, but I would say straight into the house battery is always better. Going through the inverter should not be, in my opinion, using your inverter for very low draw things, not the best move. Save that for like big appliances. That's what the inverters are for. Dixon is deaf. I've bugged him so much, says Camaro Sean. Yeah, a lot of people have. It's all good. We're not actually looking for any sort of like sponsorship. One day we'll get that Vanlife Plus hoodie or flannel. It'd be amazing. Have you thought about asking them to wrap your hood instead of it having exposed edges? What? You talking about the Jeep still? The whole hood's wrapped. I'm not sure. There's no exposed edges. The wrap comes all the way up to like halfway up the hood. If that makes sense. But I don't think they would do it for me if I just asked nicely, unfortunately. I'd probably have to pay. Did I fix the diesel heater before final install? It's actually not even installed yet. It's sitting, I could, right here. I can just grab it. I don't know if it's going to fit through the hole. It's a common problem of mine. I mean, you get the point. I'm picking up a diesel heater. I don't know why I'm trying so hard. It's literally sitting right here. It's not installed yet. But in terms of fixing it, you put that in quotes. Do you mean buying a more expensive one or putting in the other one? No. I'm probably just going to put the old one in and see what happens. I am stubborn that way. Did I get any new stickers made from Vernon? No. The stickers I have right now are the exact same ones I've had for a while. Happy birthday to Crystal Connors. And hello to Spook and Jasper as well. Hope you're having a fantastic birthday. Thanks for hanging out here with us for a portion of it. To fund your addiction, sir. Dre, I appreciate it. It's all Dre's fault. The next time I open up a brand new Dixon, we can absolutely blame Dre. And I am more than fine with that. Thank you very much, sir. It's very kind of you. Appreciate it. Daniel, thanks for stopping in, my man. I know you might not be here because I'm so far behind, but have yourself a fantastic rest of your weekend. This is a great one. I was actually talking to my dad about, Sadie and Lindsay about this today. Have I put any thought into where or how I'm going to mount the TV? I've put in some thought, but I don't know. It's going to have to sort of come organically. Right now, Curtis, where I'm at is to go back to that hanging cupboard. This one is made out of primarily like what you see, these sides are, you can't even see where I'm pointing, where my grandpa's plaque is. That's just that's a 1/4 inch wall paneling, right? Which is great because it keeps it nice and light. I'm thinking maybe for this one on this side, I would make it out of 3/4 inch plywood, just this side, so that I can then bolt the TV mount here so the TV can fold out this way so I can watch it when I'm in bed, or you could flip it around and watch it if you're sitting over on this side. That's where my brain is at right now. The only other thing I could think of is like a roof mount, but I don't really have the headroom in here to have a TV that would fold up into the roof and then fold down, like this. I've thought about that before, but when you have a TV in the roof and a mount, it's not flush with the roof, right? You got to imagine it's the thickness of the TV, then also the thickness of the mount. Now, wherever you put it, you've gotten rid of that headroom, right? I did toy initially with putting it back here, which might still be an option if I built out from this stud that's behind my toque, this stuff here, because this is kind of where it lived before, but yeah, I do give a lot of thought to it. Borealis Knight says, am I planning on to connect with Jeffy Bear on his Western trip? I don't have any plans to meet up with him. I've never met the man. That's cool. He's doing a trip. What is Western trip? Was he out east? See, this is the thing. I don't follow a lot of other van lifers either. But no. Matthew, my shorter since I had my back surgery, just a hair. Teresa Prast, hello, darling, all the way up there in, I was going to say chilly Edmonton, but I bet you're probably having better weather than Calgary. So speaking of inverter use, have I played with the induction cooktop yet? No, I haven't. I said I should in the vlog today. I was moving it around and taking a jab at people who've been getting upset with my Revita tea conversation for some odd reason. And anyways, I pointed it out and I said, we should try that out soon. It's in the big drawer in the back right now. No, I haven't yet. And I know you want to know the wattage draw. I'll get to it. I'll throw it up on Patreon if I do as well, sir. Maybe I'll try to make a point to do that tomorrow. I'm also hesitant to open it up because I'm in the garage and there's lots of crap flying around everywhere. And I just don't want to drop anything on it. I've seen those things with like horrible cracks in them. They still work, but it's an eyesore. I'm just paranoid. Like in my mind, I'm like, let's get the van out of here, living in it full time, and then we open it up. But yeah. About how much percentage wise from Lucky 1.0 do you think will not be reinstalled back to Lucky 2.0? Oh, installed back? Nothing that I've taken out is going back in the way that it was. Wait, is that true? I mean, I've used bits and pieces here and there, but nothing so large that I would even call it I've used brackets. I've torn like L brackets and stuff off of the old build, but so much of it was heavy ass furniture board, press board, MDF board. I don't see a lot of that going back in. I don't even know if this vlog's gone live yet. I think it has, where I'm talking about my batteries. But initially in the battery box behind the battery, I had used a piece of MDF board to mount my DC to DC charger to. I've since removed that and replaced it with a piece of plywood just because it's so much lighter. So weight was a big factor in this. I guess if we want to say the diesel heater, it's going to be going back in. Okay, sorry, everybody. I know I'm really far behind. Hello, Gene McKay. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a good weekend. Sharon with an E. Hello, hello. Gorilla Gold Hunters. Hello, neighbor. Right now. Oh, I know Calgary's been miserable. Last time I left, it was a winter wonderland. I left there on, I think it was, I want to say Wednesday, and it was just not horrible. Like it was just, there was snow everywhere. And then I drove out of that into the magical land of Oz. I mean, British Columbia, and it was spring again. It's just crazy. How much caffeine is in the Revita tea? I think do I have one in here? I think it's 130 milligrams. They say it's about the equivalent of a medium coffee, whatever that means. I know it's nowhere near like the 300. 130 even sounds high. I think I have one. Hang on. Let me see. There might be one hiding. Oh, yes. Of course there is. It has this much. I can't read anything. Does it not say? It should. Oh, 141 milligrams of caffeine. Is that a lot? I don't know. You're still not done yet, you slacker. This guy right here. How's your van going, sir? Always good to see you, Kevin. Alive and Well in Israel says, is your Renogy stuff worthy of my money? I got to start buying my electrical soon. Honestly, and I was having this conversation with One Aussie's Adventure a couple of weeks ago when we met up. Yeah. Renogy, was it Renogy? No, maybe it was Bill. Apologies. Although I think we had also talked about it a little bit, Ian. But also Bill from Old Denver. He gives his big stamp of approval to Renogy. I have no issues with them so far. They've all worked like gangbusters. I'm actually swapping out 2 old Renogy parts with 1 new Renogy part. That video is coming up. In case you couldn't tell, I did the electrical in here yesterday. Obviously, the lights are back on and stuff is running. And I hated life yesterday. Electrical sucks. But Renogy stuff so far, big thumbs up. All my panels are Renogy, my charge controller Renogy, and my DC to DC charger Renogy. So, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's probably one of the more affordable options that is reputable, if that makes sense. How many battery amp hours do I have now? 300, Blair. I've got 300 amp hours now. I put both of my batteries together in parallel. Down the road, when let me just read this. Oh, I gotta give the credit. Oh, down the road when Brooklyn is older, have you given in thought to taking her on extended van life tours during summer vacation across Canada, like doing road trips with my little girl? Of course, I give thoughts to that. Whether or not it'd be in Lucky or something else down the road, we're kind of dependent on how old she is and how well she's doing. Absolutely, that would be like so fun. I want to do that for myself, and I would love to be able to do stuff like that with my little girl. Just go off, do a whole bunch of exploring. Fan-freaking-tastic. Simply 2 Funcrafts. What's your favorite part of the new build so far? There's so much that hasn't come out on the vlog yet that I don't want to spoil. But so far, I think the drawers at the back, honestly, like really just like giving you an answer of what from what you've seen, the drawers in the back are great. Like every time I open those up and I pull them out, I'm like, I still have so much more room for us to put things, and I want to organize them. I'm going to say I want to organize them well so it's easy to access. Let's get serious. They're just going to turn into glorified junk drawers. I am a guy. But as long as I know what junk is in there, then it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm really proud of the way those sort of like came together. Yes, I'm very proud of how they came together as well as together, even if they are a little wank. Oh, that's a great question. Jackie Berg says, I also follow Van City Van Life. Have you ever met Chrome? I don't know. Let's leave that up to the chat. Chat, have I ever met Chrome? Long distance traveler music for a coffee while you watch your page. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I will put that towards some coffee for sure. And I'll just sit there and just go. But to go back to Jackie, yes, darling, I did meet Chrome. That's actually what gave my channel one of the big jumping off points. He did my van tour for me back in August of 21. And I haven't seen him since then. We've talked on the phone a few times back when my channel was going through some trouble. And we've texted back and forth during different moments of our lives, but we've never synced up again since. Bill Boyer says, evening, Matthew. A little late to the party. How was your day yesterday? It was great, Bill. Right up until the end when I was miserable doing all that electrical, but we got done. Other than that, it was fine. Lisa says, I came across a YouTube video of a guy building a storage unit in his van with foam board, the pink stuff. Have you seen this and or considered it? That is news to me, darling. I have never heard that. I've never seen that. It'd have to be a pretty thick foam board, I suppose. Maybe shoot me the link on Patreon if you have it. I'll give it a look-see. Mary Lynn Citroli. Hello, darling. How are you? Projector versus TV. TV. In my opinion, it's just so much easier. The projector for me takes too much work to set up. The projector is great for use outside. Like I was toying with the idea of making a TV mount on the outside of Lucky last camping season and just like bringing out a flat screen and mounting it. It's like, where the hell do I put that flat screen when I'm not using it outside? So in that instance, projector for sure. But for me, in this small of a space, it's too much work. I've seen Nikki Delventhal make it work in her van, but she's got a bigger like Sprinter van, right, to stand up in. And when you have that much more room, it's just easier to set stuff like that up. When I'm in this confined space of a cargo van like Lucky, low roof, I just want to be able to like pull the TV out, turn on the TV, and that's it. You know, super simple. The Revita tea have less caffeine than Red Bull? Yes. And the flavors sound amazing, especially the mango one is good. Most of their teas are made with black tea, but the mango one is a green tea. And they have a new flavor coming out that they just sent out for people that made an order last weekend that they're trying out. It's real tasty. It's apple pear, and it's also made with green tea, and it was delicious. They're aiming to launch that in the fall. I'm very excited for that. Wendy says, have you ever thought about the windshield peel sheet protection? Nope, never thought about it. I've never heard of it. Zero. That's all I have to say about that. Cindy Knox, does the tea have a strong tea taste, or is it mostly the different flavors? I'm not a big tea drinker, so I would say mostly the flavors, and they're pretty spot on because the flavors are from juice concentrate. That's probably like the most unhealthiest thing in there, I would assume, as not being somebody who's a very big health nut. The rest of it's made with like organic tea, organic honey, and caffeine and whatever else. There's not a lot in there. Again, as a guy who's not a big tea drinker, I definitely prefer the green tea based stuff over the black tea based stuff. I think the green tea draws that flavor out more. And that's all I'm going to say on that because I'm not a tea expert, but they're all quite tasty. That's for sure. I need to double my amp hours. So I need to get 600. You want to send me 2 more batteries then? 600. There's no room. Like, don't send me any batteries. The electrical box is big enough. It's nothing else can fit in there. I just finished, and when you move power, be good. Do you have any travel hammocks? Like just a hammock? Like, yeah, I do. I've never set them up. Where are they? Oh, I think there's one in my boat for some reason. My niece got me one years ago from Mexico. It's a Corona one. I also have a camp one somewhere, but I do. I should start setting those up more because every time I try out my cousins, I always love it. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm so far behind everybody. Oh, Wendy Lee, thank you very much for that super sticker. I appreciate that and the $20. That's very kind of you, my dear. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so far behind. My apologies. I'm just catching up with everybody answering if I met Chrome or not. Oh, that's cool. Stingray, I saw Matthew's channel because I was researching SUV camping. Well, that's awesome. I like hearing how people found my channel. Sharon says, sorry I'm late, but any updated info about having a Sync and Lucky 2.0? I don't want to like definitively say yes, but yeah, my plan is to have one, and it's going to be right over top of the diesel heater. That's sort of the space that I'm working with. But yeah, technically that's kind of what I'm working on now, but I definitely probably need a smaller bowl than I did before if I'm going to custom make it. I've looked at like pre-built like sinks that you can get off Amazon. That would be so much easier that already have like the spout and everything in it, or the drain, I should say, not the spout. But they're all so large. Usually size not a problem, but in this case, a little smaller would be better. Vernon says they make a ceiling mount that folds up and down for your TV, and it's flush to the ceiling. That's actually, I'm not surprised that you say that, Vernon. I'm sure a lot of things exist I'm unaware of. My TV, the little TV that I have, is quite thick, so I think even with a fold-up thing like that, I probably have to get a new TV. But the problem that I've noticed is those like the really nice thin TVs, they don't make them in the small sizes, right? I think like the smallest you can get in a nice thin TV is like 36 inches. And well, I wouldn't be. Well, actually, you know what? Quick, I didn't bring the tape measure in here with me. 36-inch TV here that just folds straight down. If it was flat enough, that'd be dope. But yeah, with the TV that I have, it's quite thick. Algorithm does work, says Stingray, right? Kim Loving says, looking forward to Lucky 2.0. Buy Penny some more catnip. That's a great idea. She hasn't had any good nip in a while. Kim, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Van Tour of the New Dig says, Angie's ASMR when it's done. Yes, maybe we will do that. Oh, you're very, very well, Jane. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Green tea is high caffeine. Mwah. Nothing wrong with that. Matthew needs more power. Vernon, he does not. Okay, I'm just sorry, everybody. Actually, well, I feel bad. There were questions that were being asked. More Band-Aids and more fingers, Bebop and Becca. Hi, Matthew, just got here. What? More Band-Aids on more fingers? Yes. And you've only seen one finger get cut so far. This is the third one. I need an adult. Oh, this is kind. Ocean Breezes says, I don't know how I found you on YouTube, but your ability how to hold an audience keeps me watching. So what is your secret to keeping us wanting to see your next video? You're my Lucille Ball. Yikes. But it's still a nice echelon to be held up to. Thank you very much, Ocean Breezes. That's very kind of you to say. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't like analyzing myself or trying to guess why I can. I'm just very thankful that I can. And I'm very thankful for the audience that I have. And I think it's just the desire to keep people entertained. I do read every comment. I know it might not seem like I do, but I read all my comments. We focus on the positive around here because the negative is garbage. And you got to let that shit roll off your shoulders. And focusing on what people enjoy is what I start to lean into. You know, that's why my videos are so long. And I know there's like a small percentage of people that think my videos are too long and they won't watch. And I know that I'm sort of pigeonholing myself in doing so, but that's something that I've sort of gone over and tested a lot of over the last year. And the longer videos is what people by and large seem to enjoy. And I'm very thankful for that. And I've always been interested in like being on camera. I've always had a big personality, so that all comes easy. And I like, keeping people wanting more. It's easy to do with something like a van build, not as easy to do with like the day-to-day stuff, right? But that's like the movie maker in me as well. I like to keep it fresh. I don't like everything. I don't like every video to just be so like stagnant, stale, by the books. That's why my build series is not just like, this is how you install a diesel heater. This is how you build a platform for a fridge. Like, no, it's like, it's my life. It's my day. It's what I'm going about and what I'm doing. And I think people are getting a little bit more invested in that, more so than like just this one person doing van life. And again, I'm very blessed that people enjoy my life and how I present it. Rocky's mom, aka Gma. Hello, happy Saturday to you. Does snoring undermine successful stealth camping? Only if you don't have the proper insulation. You could use a steam tray square container for your sink. They have different sizes. I have a rectangular one and love it. A rectangular one would be better for sure. Steam tray square. Rachel, can you send me a link to whatever the hell that is? I won't remember to search that on Amazon later. Vernon, I will let you see. Absolutely. See what you can find for me, sir. Always looking out for me, and I appreciate it. But isn't the problem with most monitors, Stingray, that they don't come with built-in speakers? Then you have to have external ones. Especially if they're thinner. You know what I mean? I don't know. Matthew needs more funnels, and nobody ever. Lisa! This might be funny, but what exactly do you mean in each video about the fish? Can you explain? I don't get it. There's a video here on the channel where there were a bunch of like nasty people in the comments that were lashing out, and I was concerned about how other people might react reading them. They might think that they can't do something. So I was given a bunch of stickers by one of my big supporters, Lorna, and in that bag of stickers, there was a sticker that said only dead fish go with the flow. And I kind of leaned into that at that point. And it's kind of like, you can't just go with the flow and expect things to be okay. If you're not happy with your life, go against the grain. Don't do what's expected of you. Challenge yourself and make stuff happen. I came from a point in my life where things were filled with negativity. I was really down on myself. I had let the rest of the world around me sort of dictate how I was supposed to be, and I was miserable. And I let some very important people that I thought were super close to me walk all over me. And I decided then and there that I'm going to start being more positive for myself. And I did that for like a good year. And then that stuff happened with in the comments, and it got me thinking about other people, since I started like influencing people, or people were sort of like watching my videos for inspiration. I just wanted to reiterate the fact that going with the flow by and large can get you nowhere. Now, that being said, people need to not take it so literally all the time, because there are absolutely times where you just want to kick back and go with the flow. So everybody just calm down when it comes to that. But yeah, for the most part, it just means don't fall in line with what society expects you to do, unless you're completely happy doing that. I wasn't. Do I need an entire first aid kit or more Band-Aids? No, Debbie, thank you so much. Apparently, Bill is hooking me up with a fully stocked first aid kit. So thank you very much to Bill. And yes, Debbie's always got my back when it comes to Band-Aids. Borealis Knight says, how do you parallel two different capacity batteries? Are you sure Lead Time approves that? I didn't talk to anybody at Lead Time, but I did my research and I read a whole bunch of reports on it and experiments that people had done. And yeah, you can run them in parallel. You just can't do them in series. If you do them in series, that's where the problem comes. But since they're both 12-volt batteries, no problem. Are there too many questions in the chat? Never too many questions. We'll get there eventually. What's the price to redo Regina for Amber? Probably about $50,000 to just get a new van. Stova. I tried so hard, Em. I tried so hard. Matthew, you keep us all amused. I appreciate that. That's my dream. I was talking to somebody. I was down in Silverton Building Supplies, and I was talking to the guy down there that helped me cut the wood. Oh my God. Why is his name slipping my mind right now? I'm so bad at this. Oh my goodness, I'm the worst. But we were chatting while we were cutting up some plywood, and I was saying how fortunate I was to be living my dream, because I always wanted to make movies, just not in the Hollywood sense. And so I'm finally getting to live my dream. And what more could you honestly ask for, right? That's what keeps me going. I love your humor and the way you tell your story. Don't change for sure. Thank you very much, Kay. I appreciate that. Lucky's going to come alive with all the blood sacrifices you've been making, right? Did I feel the earthquake in Canada where I live? No. Didn't that happen in New York? I didn't feel an earthquake on the other side of the country. Vanlife Plus, new here. Hello. I'm looking at either getting a Kia, Toyota, or Chrysler van. I would be buying new. What one is best for building for van life room-wise? No idea. Here's the problem that you've presented me with this question. Kia and Toyota, if you're in North America, only make minivans, unless you're going to import something. Oh, Chrysler also only makes a minivan. I read that as Chevy. I don't know. I don't have any experience in that. Not based on space. In terms of reliability, if you're buying new, go with Toyota, hands down, and make the space work. That's what I would do if I was in your position. If I was looking at that, 100% Toyota. Sharon says, I'm enjoying the adventure with you, Matthew. The trips to BC are beautiful. Thank you very much, Sharon. I appreciate that. Hopefully in the future, we start going on trips and other places throughout the country and a little bit south, right? And eventually it would be great if I get my life to a place where I can afford stuff like trips to Mexico and whatnot. I would love to just continue to vlog while I do stuff like that. I really like that people enjoy just sort of hanging out with me, watching my day-to-day life vlogs. I try to keep it entertaining. I don't necessarily always want to be doing nomadic van life living. There'll always be a little bit of an element of that to it. But I would love to continue to do stuff like that. And that's my go-to, because I've gone to Mexico a couple times. I was best man at my best friend's wedding, and I went down there once with an ex that we'll get to that in the other videos. But and the 2 times I went there, that's just like one of those like not lightning in a bottle, but isolated moment where you're just like, you remember it. And it's like, yeah, this would be nice to do again someday in my life. And I wasn't vlogging back then, but I would sure love to do that on a trip like that. It'd be super fun. Is it true that you don't like windows? I don't know who said that, but they should be tarred and feathered, Christopher. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Yes, the longer the video, the better it is for all of us Vanlife Plus groupies. I appreciate that, Karen. Very kind of you to say. The problem with the longer videos is it's harder to keep them coming out on a consistent basis, right? Especially when I'm building the van. But I'll do my best. I would love to be able to get the channel to a place where, since it's my full-time gig, I can do it financially and maybe just do 3 really long videos a week and then eventually 2. I know it's not ideal for a lot of you to hear me say that. It'd be like less content, but then I could focus a little bit more on the quality of them. I don't know. You got to have dreams. Jason Kelly says, hey man, at least your van build doesn't look janky like somebody else I know. What? What? Who? You talking about me? Is my van build janky? Like my thumb? Anyway. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Oh my goodness, I'm so far behind. It's okay. What's in the cup? Oh, rum. Dead man's fingers is in the cup. With all this traveling back and forth, do you see yourself ever becoming more of a permanent Kootenai guy? I consider myself a Kootenai guy, but that's only because I've been coming out to this exact spot my entire life, pretty much. A little bit more frequently now in my adult life, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to do that because of my life being the way it is. With my family being here and me having my home on wheels and all of that good stuff. In terms of like permanent though, no, not with my little girl being in Alberta. I will always be wherever she is, permanently, especially in my mind. When she's older and I make that decision to like put down some roots, then maybe. This is a pretty darn beautiful place. Lee Vanda Wujgord says, what's with the ducks in the Jeep? Sorry, I'm Dutch. Don't know about that. That's something that started a while ago. As a woman, as far as I know, out east in Ontario, just decided to randomly put a Jeep on randomly put a rubber duck on a person's Jeep one day that they thought, I think how the story goes is the person was having a bad day and she wanted to just make them smile, and it just caught on from there. And it stayed with the Jeep community. And it's just a way of saying, hey, I like your ride. I hope you smile. Funny story. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. This happened the other day. Brooklyn was here with me in BC. And I'm just going to make sure that we're all still good with the stream. My little Wi-Fi symbol keeps popping on and off. But we were in BC. We were in New Denver. It was myself, Brooklyn, and my mom, and we had to stop at the grocery store. Mom just ran in to get a few groceries for dinner that night. And Brooklyn, being Brooklyn, I had to get her out of the Jeep just to sort of like let her run around while we waited for Grandma to do her shopping. Usually we would go in and shop with Grandma, but Brooklyn tends to delay the game a little bit when she's doing stuff like that. So I said, no, we'll stay outside and wait for Grandma. And so she's running up and down the stairs and whatnot. And there's this other Jeep in the parking lot, a really nice orange JK, which is the model before mine, which is, it's funny because it's not, you can't really tell the difference. You can if you're a Jeep person, but whatever. Beautiful little 2-door Jeep with 2 doggos inside. Obviously the owner was inside grabbing some groceries. So I turned to Brooklyn and I say, hey, do you want to go duck that Jeep? And she said, yeah, let's do it. So I open up the bag of ducks that we have under the rear seat, and she grabs out this cool looking little alien duck. And we walk over, and like always, she puts the duck on the door handle, and we've now ducked this Jeep, and we go about our business. She continues to go up and down the stairs. I think I went up and down the stairs once, and I said, I'll wait at the bottom for the rest of it, kid. You're 3. I'm almost 40. So she did that. Grandma comes out, done her grocery shopping, and I load Brooklyn back in to the van. The orange Jeep still sitting there. The owner hasn't come out. I get in the driver's seat. Mom gets into the passenger. And then I see this woman coming out of the store and she's going straight for the Jeep. I'm like, oh, there's the owner of the Jeep. Not really thinking anything of it. I put Grace in reverse and we're backing up. She goes around. The woman goes around to the passenger side and she puts her groceries in through that door first. And then she walks around to the driver's door. So I'm watching. Like, I've never seen anybody react to getting one of these ducks before, right? So, and it's so funny because she comes around and I think, well, like most of us, she reaches for the door handle, not looking at the door handle, right? So her hand goes down and she's looking wherever it is she's looking. And I'm just kind of watching her as we're driving past, going towards the exit of the parking lot. She grabs the door handle and she just goes, oh, it's like it startles her, right? She's like, oh, and the duck hits the floor. And she immediately looks down, of course, and she's like, oh, and she bends down to pick it up. My window's open at this point. She kind of grabs the duck, stands up, and I kind of like, as vocally as I can, I say, it's from my little girl. And she looks up and she catches my eye and she sees that we're in Grace and she just kind of gets that look on her face and she goes, oh, thank you. And I just turned back to Brooklyn. I said, that's exactly why we duck Jeeps. We gave that woman a smile for the day, right? Even if we did scare the absolute shit out of her first. Okay. Okay. Sorry, got off track there, but I like telling stories. Have you thought about doing van life to the States? That question comes up a lot. I'm going to Montana in July. We're doing it. There's a family like thing that we have to do there. So we'll be down there. Then Lindsay and I are going to do a little bit of camping. So I'll be part of the camping season this year. Very excited for that. But in terms of like living down there, obviously I can't. My little girl's up here. But as I say every time, it would be great at some point to do like a little tour of the States. I think I was saying to Amber just a couple of days ago, it'd be so much fun. Like the United States have so much to like offer. There's so many places I would love to. There was a clip from Twister. We were watching Twister and it was the end of the movie where they're in whatever it is, Arkansas or Kansas. And it's just a random ass cornfield. And I see stuff like that every once in a while. And I'm just like, there's so much world out there. And it's probably wasn't actually Kansas. Who knows where they filmed that movie? It's a stage in California, right? I'm just kidding. But, and I just look at it and I'm like, I would love to go driving down that random road in Kansas, just to say that I did and be there and experience it. And then drive a little further and, in the desert, a little further in a rainforest, a little further in the tropics of Florida or whatever, the bayou. Like there's so much in the States that I would absolutely love to see one day. I have my responsibilities as a dad and those will trump any sort of like elongated travel plans, let's say. But I got a lot of life left to live. So don't count it out. It's in the cards for sure. Do you still have a discount code for lead time? I need to start planning my electrical. Right now, I'm using a Vitamin, and it's fine, but I have access right now to plug in and recharge it, which you won't eventually. I think so. I'd have to reach out to lead time and see if my code is still good, Lisa. I'm not 100% sure. You could go back and check the video and then just try it. I think the worst thing you could do. I don't remember what the discount code is. It would be great if all of these discount codes were just Vanlife Plus, but sometimes they add numbers to them or something. So unfortunately, no, off the top of my head, I don't know. I apologize. Jeremy says, Matthew, would you use a Craig jig instead of using the 2x2s to save a bit more space and possibly make things easier on yourself? Jeremy, not to like sound ignorant, but I'm going to plead it. I don't know what that is. It sounds like another tool I would have to buy. And at this point, it's just here's the thing, dude. I love learning. And I've learned a lot again. I learned a bunch and I'm applying it now. And I'm learning more now that I would love to apply later. I've talked about pretty candidly before on the channel that eventually I would love to have a little place somewhere for me and my little girl. And I would love to have a shop on that property where I could then do builds. I want to build, like the next thing I want to take a crack at is building a cargo trailer. Whether I keep it for myself or sell it or whatever, I really do enjoy the build process, except for electrical, but I would still do it, obviously, right? So, and stuff like that, using tools that are a little bit more beneficial and efficient. I would love to learn about and apply future down the road, right? I don't see myself doing like a Lucky 3.0 in this vehicle, but I don't think I'm done building with this for sure. So always room to learn for the future. I'm just going to give a reminder here. I know I'm getting far behind you guys. I'm going to play catch up as much as I can. If you just joined us, hanging out, having some drinks. By the way, mine is almost gone. I'm going to refresh that. You got any van life questions or van build questions, throw them into the chat. I am a little bit behind. I'll get to them when I can. It does help if you put 3 capital Qs at the beginning of your comment, helps it stand out. So there's a better chance for this van lifer to see it. All right. WG says, I plan to go to Vegas on my first adventure. Out where are some better places to park away from people? I can't really comment too much on Vegas or even the States in general in terms of away from people. I know you guys got a lot of problems with Walmarts down there in a lot of places, just like we do up here in Canada. I hear Cracker Barrels are decent. I don't know what the law is for rest stops. I'm definitely not the best person to offer up advice on where to park in the United States, unfortunately. Again, see the fact that I've never been to the States with my van. So. Debbie says, I'm still playing catch up on your videos from when I was gone. I'm this close. She was enjoying a very romantic cruise, I hear. Son of a bee. And that is totally fine, Debbie. I'm glad you got a lot of content to catch up on. Hopefully you're not rushing through it. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I know you are. Welcome back, by the way. I love all the thought you were putting into the build. I do the same thing. You have to, right? Like you can't. Here's the thing. I would say I'm willy-nillying it. But you can't just actually willy-nilly things, you know? You can't, like I am, because I didn't like plan a whole bunch, but like you say, I think about things in the moment. And I love seeing the comments and seeing how people think, you can't do this, you can't do that, this won't work, that won't work, this will break, this will, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I know what I've already done and what does work. And that's very entertaining for me. But I also get it because the camera angles don't always show everything in the size and framework that would make sense for people, and they're just making snap decisions, but those snap decisions are very entertaining for me. Christy says, we like your day-to-day videos. I know it makes me feel like I'm living vicariously through someone who always tries to entertain or make videos for the algorithm. Thank you so much, Christy. I appreciate that. One day, Carrie, one day. Put a Jeep on somebody's ducks. Well, I'm way behind. Cheryl Liss, maybe I missed this, but moving the fridge, would you think about a swivel seat? Yeah, I'd think about it. Hello to Stingray's buddy Paulette, also known as Time to Live. Welcome to the live chat. I didn't see you come in, but he gave you a shout out. That's all I need. Ben Oulette outside, or Oulé. Hey, been watching you for a while. Like your quality content. Just a small YouTube dude here. Missed your last few. Did you get your heater in? No, so you haven't missed out on that yet. Heater is actually, you must have just joined us, Ben. Hopefully you're still here. But the heater's right here. It's my co-host for this evening. That's what this should have been. Live from Lucky 1.5, co-hosted by the old diesel heater. He needs more funnels. Kevin, shut up. Have I seen the trailer for the next Twister movie? I did. And I'll probably see it. I loved Twister when it first came out back in the 90s. I think it was like 96 or something roughly. And I will go see it. It'll be garbage, I'm sure. I shouldn't say that. I should have more faith. But most things are these days. And we really don't need a sequel. That movie especially, when Amber and I were watching it, I told him, like, this is a movie that did not need a sequel. Like, from the scientific standpoint, they succeeded in what they wanted to do. So in order for there to be a sequel, it's got to be like some sort of advancement in technology. It can't just be people running away from a tornado, right? Otherwise, it's just another disaster movie. So we'll see. I don't know. Driving across the country is highly recommended. I've done it before Stingray actually. I drove when I had my Tacoma. I drove from Calgary to Seattle. I know, not across the country. But I also drove from Calgary to Chicago. And I think those two big trips had a huge part in influencing my decision to move into the van. Like the reason I moved into the van was based on getting out of the negativity and survivability and, wanting my life to be a certain way. But I don't think that I would have had those seeds planted had I not done those two trips, because driving down into Idaho and no, I went straight into Washington State. But that drive, I'm telling you, the drive from Spokane to Seattle, it's almost even better than Alberta to BC. It's just such a gorgeous drive. And then everything that I saw on my trip to Chicago, going into Saskatchewan and then down into North Dakota and over into like Wisconsin and then Illinois. I'm missing something. Minnesota. I used to be a lot better with my states, but just being out there and seeing that I could do this definitely helped like plant those seeds and be like, what if I could do this all the time? Which is funny because now I haven't done any big trips like that. But when I did those trips, I wasn't a father yet either. So it was easier to take time for myself. $632 people in the chat. Thank you so much. If you're here and you can, maybe leave a like on the video. All that stealth helps the channel out so much. Thank you so much. Everybody else in the chat saying give some love. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just bought my Max Air fan. Any pro tips on how to install this bad boy? Yeah, don't install it in a dented roof. Other than that, cut away. I talked about this earlier, Jane. Projection, like a projector instead of a physical mounted TV. You got to have a screen that's larger and in charger, and then you got to have the projector, and it hangs down. I had my projector back on the roof before. I was smashing my head on it. It's like I said earlier. I like the projector outside when I'm camping, though. That's great, but inside the van, not the best. I'm wondering where Matthew's going to stay now that he can't stay at Hotel Walmart. Well, like if at the end of that video, I showed that there were still people there, right? Like I kind of like made a mountain out of a molehill in the information I had heard about people being run out of that Walmart. My thoughts on the way people conduct themselves in places like that still stand. That's why I let the video go. But when I rolled into Walmart, I was immediately relieved to see that there were still a lot of the campers that I was familiar with there. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that not being an option for me. I am looking forward to going back there and at least doing one more night once the build is done. And I do have plans on what I want to do because of the way my life is with the Jeep and the weather turning nicer. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up when we move on to the next part of Vanlife Plus Chapter 4 and the build being completed. Will there ever be a Stella 2.0? I miss her. Oh. That's very sweet and sad at the same time to see. I miss her too a lot. She was my little snuggle bug. I had her since she was a kitten. In terms of getting another cat, I probably won't get another cat while I still have Penny. I've talked about this before. She's a kitty cat that has tolerated a lot of companionship in terms of having other cats around her entire life. At one point, she was one of 6 that I had when I was still living in Sticks and Bricks. And then, of course, it came down to her and Stella being the last 2 standing. And now that it's just her, I think she has earned the right to be the sort of like queen of the van, so to speak, Queen Tubbers as it might be, and just enjoy the last stretch of her adventure with me. I don't want to stress her out by introducing another cat at this point. So that's my thoughts on that. I get that question, or I see that question a lot. But I think introducing a new cat into van life is going to be a challenge in and of itself. So stressing both of those animals out with each other, I just think that's a level I don't really need to be on. So yeah, that's where that's at. Victor, what happened to your phone? But then I don't see you that much anymore. Is she okay? My phone's fine. Where's my phone? I'm sure that was a typo, but my phone's right here. It's okay. Do I pay extra van insurance due to living in it? No. I don't think that would be the case on what would make it more expensive. Vernon says, we need longer videos. Vernon. Yo. All right, I'll work on it. What brand construction glue am I using? It's PL, I think. Oh, it's outside. I think it's LePage. LePage is the brand, right? I think that's it. I'm gonna go with LePage. Final answer. Where's the potty gonna go? As of right now, it's still gonna be the bucket in the bottle. That's not something I like factored in, because here's another thing. I see a lot of people like giving suggestions and this, that, and the other thing. The way I've approached this build for Lucky 2.0 is I've lived in her for over 2 years, and I've kind of felt out and learned what will and what won't work for me. That's why things are taking a little bit longer. That's why things are being built the way they're being built. When I built Lucky before, I built it with what I had on hand and what I thought might work, having never lived in a van. And I think for the most part, I made it work pretty well. But now I'm implementing things that I think will make my life a little easier in that regard, right? Knowing how I live my life in a vehicle. When it comes to that stuff, in the space that I have and what I need, the bucket and the bottle work, right? So I wasn't going to mess with that system right away. I have another portable like potty that was sent to me by Kathy like forever ago, and it's still in the box. It's right outside Lucky right now, and it's a little collapsible one. And so I would love to like implement that somehow. I just don't know if it's going to be very viable. Although that's a pretty nice space there. We'll see. We shall see. The bucket is annoying, but the bucket is also reliable. All hail the bucket. Okay. I made a snap decision once. Now I have a daughter. Oof. I get that. Okay, I'm out walking the property. Keep talking. I got a fox den with some babies that I don't get to see. Okay, Just Judy, I'm here talking for you. Alita says, hello. From 4 hours north of Moab, Utah, Jeeping Paradise. Would you want to go Jeep there? Yes. Yeah, that would be fun one day. If I could haul Lucky down there and do that. That would be some fun off-roading. I don't know if I'm gonna like do like crazy mods on Grace. Like I like her. I like having her as a reliable vehicle. And I know as soon as you start doing stuff like adding lifts and stuff like that, you really do compromise the integrity of the vehicle. And if you don't do it properly, like you got to spend so much money to ensure that it's good. And even then, I don't even know that it's because vehicles are made to a certain spec. They're not meant to be lifted. I know that doesn't stop anybody. And maybe this is all for naught. Maybe Grace as is could handle Moab no problem. But yes, that is like something I would love to do at some point. Haul the whole rig down there, have a place to camp out, and have a Grace to go play with. I said what I meant. What's a future add-on you would like to give Lucky? You know, I get that question a lot. And not to spoil anything, but there's 2 add-ons that are currently in Lucky that I've already put in that you all haven't seen because the vlogs are not there yet. I like having a lot of content ready and waiting in the wings, so to speak. But ignoring all of that, I don't think so. I'm pretty content in my life with the way things are and the way my van is. I think if we're talking fantastically, a high top, right? I say that in the sense that I don't want it. I don't want to do that. Like the build is coming along so well. But that's pretty much it. That's the only thing lacking, the ability to stand up, right? That's the only add-on I could think. Yeah, I lie through my teeth. I want to replace the bumpers. The rear bumper came. It obviously got hit in the back corner, and it's been floppy ever since I bought her. And the front bumper is just the old steel bumper, and it's rusting, and it looks gross. I would love to get an aftermarket bumper. I don't think I need a winch. But here's another fun story, another little fun tangent. I don't even know if I told this on Patreon. Maybe I did. But I was taking Brooklyn back to Calgary last week or a few days ago or whatever it was. Time is a construct. It is. But I was taking her back. We had just crossed the BC Alberta border, and we're barreling east. And who do I see come barreling west? And now I can't confirm for sure, but I'm pretty confident it was Simon over at Foresty Forest. He went whipping by on his way back into BC. I didn't make note of the chimney, but there was a fan and there was his tow hook on the front of his bumper. And it looked like it was a little bit raised up, and he had the windows and everything, and he goes by, and then behind him is the black Jeep of his friend Adventure Time Louie, I think her channel name is. She comes whipping up behind him, so they were traveling together, and I thought that was really cool to see Foresty Forest. Obviously, this is like we're on the Trans-Canada Highway, just he probably doesn't even know who I am, but it was super cool to see him like that out in the wild. Brooklyn was asleep, so I couldn't wake her and get her excited about it. I don't think she would have given a shit now that I really think about it. But all that is to say, his tow hook stood out. So maybe a winch on Lucky, but I think a winch would be something better suited for Grace. But a new bumper on Lucky for sure would look nice. I think that's probably where I'm at this point. Kenny, hello from Alaska. Hello from British Columbia. I'm just below you. Now that is a road trip. Drive down to Texas. Yeah, I would love to drive down to Texas. That would be awesome. Go see all those cowboys. Oh, is Captain Happy Pants in here? Hello, sir. So I didn't see you come in. Okay, sorry. I know I'm getting behind here, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around and throwing your questions into the chat. I made a live. Hello from... Oh no, Siobhan, Northern Ireland. I brutalized that training pause, Steve. I apologize, dude. But welcome to the live chat. Stingray says the Stella episode was the reason I started watching Matthew's videos in order. That Stella episode had me bawling my eyes out. I miss her. I do too, dude. And I'm glad. I shouldn't say I'm glad. That's a weird statement to make. But in a weird way, I'm glad that people can come along on this adventure with me. And when I hear you say that you wanted to start watching stuff in order, I greatly appreciate that. I know not everybody will take the time to watch every single video and watch it in order. I know that's probably actually true for a lot of people here on a live stream with me, but there are plenty of people that don't. But I am telling a story. Like, it's not just a YouTube channel where I'm just doing DIYs or how-tos. Like, I am telling a story. Every episode relates to the episode before it or 5 episodes before it. When I get creative, it'll talk about episodes coming up in the future. I will do fun stuff with the editor, but by and large, it is a sequential story of my life, and the people that are on board for it, like you, my man, I really appreciate. So thank you. And yeah, that was a tough one to make. But again, when you share your life in the way that I was sharing mine, and my companionship with my pets, when something that devastating happens, I feel like, I could have just have easily been like, she passed away, I can't do this. And that would have been well within my right. So I don't want to say like I have obligation to the audience to share with. I think my obligation is communication at this point, right? My obligation is to communicate what happens with stuff like that, right? At the very least. And a lot of people would probably say, no, you don't even have an obligation to do that. It's your life. And that's true too for certain aspects. But when you've shared something as personal and profound as your relationship with an animal with an audience online, I feel like the obligation of communication is there with stuff like that. For me, it definitely helped me process that loss. One thing that I haven't talked about when it comes to like the romantic side of my life and the stories that I'm sharing, the main theme of this chapter, I haven't really talked about it in those videos, is that my way of dealing with the relationship loss, the breakups that I've lived through in my life, I think 4 out of the 5, maybe 3 out of the 5, I've made movies. I sat down and I wrote a script, and whether it was a comedy or a drama or whatever, and my friends and I all got together and we filmed and we made a movie, and it was fun, and it helped me process the loss I was feeling, right? Everybody's got their own way of like sort of coping with their emotions, dealing with it, processing what they're feeling when they go through like a certain huge change like that. I was a very romantic person, a very emotional person. I'm still an emotional person. But all that stuff really affected me. I'm not really conveying the loss too much in my heartbreak episodes, but when it comes to processing that and getting through the darkness and the rough times, that was my coping mechanism. And so now it's the same now. It's not like that was just like a fad or something back then. When I lost Stella, I didn't want to immediately pick up the camera. I had to have my cry. I had to live through that moment for sure. But then I said, I need to do this for me. I need to create this. I mean, the video where I had her, I knew it was coming, right? I knew I had to make that decision. And that, again, was my way of processing with it. I guess before this, I was mainly talking about the silent episode with Penny and I down at Fish Creek Park. But the episode before that, her final ride, it's because I knew it was coming. As a pet owner, you sense this, and it's that decision you don't want to make that you put off for a very long time. And again, picking up the camera and showcasing as much as I could as I was feeling and celebrating her as the little fur ball she was my way of coming to terms with what I had to do, I guess. And I'm lucky that I have that outlet for sure. Not everybody does, and I get that. Okay. What the heck do I need to send you to say? Hello, Upside Down Jackie. How are you? I hope you're surviving the heat down there, although it's kind of cooled off now down there. How is it? You're not burning as profusely, right? Darling, I'm so sorry I missed you come in. I hope you're having a fantastic time. PL 300. Yeah, I think that is it from LePage. Okay, sorry. That happens when we start yapping. Jennifer says, how is your back recovery going? Remodel giving any issues? Every day. But not issues in like, I don't think it's not super detrimental to my recovery, I would say by and large, as someone who's never gone through back surgery recovery before, it's going quite well. But the build, that's another reason the build's taking so long, right? Is that I get to a point where I'm in so much pain, I have to just call it a day. And maybe I wouldn't have if my back wasn't reacting the way it is at that given time, right? So it's the in and the out of the van. It's the on my knees. That's another reason why yesterday when I was doing all of the electrical, and that video is coming, it ain't going to be a long one. I just wanted to get it done. But it's coming in next week sometime, I think, or the week after. I don't even know where I'm at with my filming. But yeah, that was a long day on my knees, and that hurts. As soon as you get out of the van, you stretch, you hurt, you get grumpy, and it's just definitely having I don't even want to say a negative effect, but an effect nonetheless. It's having an effect on my efficiency. But I don't feel like I'm at any, excuse me, that rum, yummy. I don't feel like I'm at any risk of doing any damage or anything like that. You know what I mean? Will I be adding more upper cabinets, says Rachel? Yes. As I mentioned earlier, I'm hesitant to put anything back here after ripping it out. Possibly back there. But I could probably also put something like a little hanging thing here, as long as it doesn't stick out this way as much. So I'm not cracking my head on it. You know what I mean? I got to get the cabinetry over the diesel heater built first, and then I'll have a better idea of what I want and what I don't want. Amber says, I think Lucky would be cool with one of those pop-up roofs, so you don't have to build everything around the high top, but still be able to stand up when you want to. It's not a bad idea. Again, that's probably more expensive, I think, than a hot top. Hot top? Yep. I think that would end up being more expensive than a hard top. Anything that has like movability usually is. But I hear where you're coming from. Again, though, the idea of like adding an exterior roof to a van like this, you get presented with a huge possibility of leaks, whether it's a permanent high raise or a collapsible one, like Amber said. Ben says, Grace is sweet. I have an 2018 Wrangler with the 2-liter engine. 2-liter engine. Get a real Jeep. I'm just kidding. 33s and 4-inch lift. Wow, you way up there. 2-door rag top. Just put $600K on today. Yo, what? You just drove 600,000 kilometers today? At the Basca Glacier. Awesome trip today. 600 kilometers. Gotcha. Like 600,000. I was like, bro, calm down. Question, why Lucky? My van called Stan because he a sprinter and I just used the first letter S. It's very hard to explain. Let's just say I like the beer. That's not the reason. If you go back and watch the chapter 1 finale video, it's Farewell Part 6. I really love that video, and that's where Lucky gets her name. And ultimately, it came down to the fact that me building the van and getting the van and turning my life around, well, I may have made that happen. The van itself became like this really personal thing to me. And so I looked at her as more than a van. I looked at her as she's going to be my home. And this was all sort of like foresight. And I just said I was very lucky to have her save my life. That's kind of how that's the Cole's Notes version of what happens at the end of that video. How's the paint job going on Lucky? Says MDD. It hasn't progressed at all since that last video because it's rainy AF here right now, sadly. So we still have the passenger door and the 2 cargo doors left to do, and then the touch-up on the rear. Did I catch Tom Green doing a bit of van life? I saw 1 or 2 of his videos. Yeah, it feels like it was a year or so ago. Is he still doing it? I'm not sure. Yeah, Adventure Time Louis' setup in her little Wrangler is quite impressive. I watched her tour video and I thought wow, good for her. She's a lot shorter than I am, but the fact that she built a platform underneath her rear seats and that's where her diesel heater is, that was super cool. And her whole little setup in that Wrangler is amazing. Do you have summer tires to take those winter studded tires off? I do. They're being stored by Cal Tire back in Calgary. It's the same Wrangler Duratrax that I had before I got these studs, right? And I paid for them to keep them in storage. So actually, my goal is to make an appointment with Cal Tire, hopefully sometime in the week, not next week, but the week after. So, and then get Lucky back to Calgary and get those tires swippity swapped because mine and Lindsay's first camping trip is rapidly approaching, and I don't want to be driving around with these effing studded tires on. I mean, that being said, if I was still in Calgary, it'd be a good thing that I still had the studs on with the weather that they've been having. But I drove Lucky to Silverton Building Supplies today. And it's so like, well, yeah, it's raining out here, but you don't need studded tires, right? So they do exist, Vern. I just got to book the appointment, finish the build, and get Lucky back to Calgary. I've underestimated Captain Happy Pants' sneakiness. Well, it's just the way it is. Well, we're happy to have you here, Steve. That's not really a question, though, but I appreciate you being here nonetheless. Yes, I do. I just told my cousin that story today. She doesn't watch all of my videos, obviously. She gets far too much of me in real life. But I told her that story today because she came over to visit. This is the first time she's been here since I had Lucky out here. Yeah, I've been here since February 10th. My goodness. And she was just shook her head and couldn't believe it. So, oh, no, right? But I remember it fondly. Shut the... All right. With the exception of Simon and a handful of others running Chevy, most people are running Fords. Do you think that's just because they're cheaper? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I think Fords maybe are more readily available because they suck. So they're easier to get. That's probably why more people find themselves in those pieces of shit. I'm just kidding. I have no problem with Ford. But the Econoline stopped production in 2014. So if you're saying Fords and you're talking about Transits, maybe. But yeah, the Econoline, I was looking at Econolines before I bought Lucky. There was a really nice, bright orange, long Ford Econoline. It was a 2014, but they wanted 20 grand for it. And I said that wasn't possible back when I got Lucky. I mean, I got Lucky for $8 grand. So, and I'm very happy with my decision. I've had no problems. I think I got a good year. I know Bruce Vanlife Jr. He had a Chevy. I know he just recently upgraded. I don't know what his new van is, but he had a Chevy as well. And he had this, I think he had the bigger engine than me. And I remember talking to him at Chrome's meetup in Calgary, and we were kind of talking about our vans at the time. And he knew that the engine that I had was rock solid, and Chevy in general, for the years we were looking at, were very reliable. And if you look at something like Simon's, I know his is newer. He's got like a little bit newer tech in his. I think his is definitely newer than 2010. And he's had his fair share of issues. Now, don't get me wrong, so have I, but nothing to the extent that he has had. And that just kind of goes to show that newer stuff isn't always better with all the computers that they put in things and whatnot. I mean, just ask Broken Nomad. He's got a brand new Chevy Express, and he's had it back to the dealership for a whole bunch of stuff. When will we hear more about your deeper stories? What do you mean by deeper stories, Carrie? If you mean when will we hear the first video about Jenna, which is the part of chapter 4 that we are currently in, next Friday will be the very first story for the third heartbreak. And then chapter 5 is going to be a whole different ball game. What's the record for the live stream? 633 seems insane. I don't know the most I've ever had. That's awesome that there's this many people here. I greatly appreciate everybody being here. Even if you're just watching from your TV and you can't chime in the chat, thank you so much for choosing to spend your Saturday night here with me, even for just a little time. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. If you just joined us, I'm hanging out, answering some questions when I can. I tend to go off on a little bit of tangents here and there. But if you do have a question and you have the ability to chat with us, throw 3 capital Qs on the beginning of your message, and I will do my best to answer it. How late are we? Just like this. This is a perfect example. Q, Q, Q. How late are we staying up together tonight, Matthew? Probably not as long as you might think, darling, but longer than you deserve. Just kidding. I don't know. I'm aiming for around 9:30 my time. So another couple hours maybe. Depends on my back. My lower back is starting to get a little stiff. I should have grabbed my TENS machine. Actually, I think it's in Grace, and Grace is just out there. I guess I could hop out and grab it if I need to, but yeah, we'll see. I never plan how long I'm going to go live. I usually just go live and we hang out, we chat, and when I feel like I'm either too drunk, too tired, and stuff's just petering off, I'll call it. But right now, we going strong. Oh, I got it right. The naming of his, when I said Siobhan. That's so true. I ball my face off when animals in movies pass away. Humans, nah. It's funny. I was talking to Lindsay today, and she was like, we were talking about movies coming up and whatnot, and movies that she wants to show Sadie. Sadie's 14 now, 15 now. Horrible uncle / cousin. But we were talking about the movie Megan, and if you haven't seen it, it's a movie about a robotic doll that basically kind of gets a mind of its own and starts killing people. It's not an exceptionally violent movie, actually, and it's not gory. And it leans into like scariness and the unreliability of AI and all of that. But I say, yeah, Sadie could probably watch that, but I guess Lindsay's done her research. She hasn't seen it, but she says, oh, there's a scene where the dog dies. And I was like, oh, right, yeah, there is. She's like, yeah, Sadie won't be able to handle that. Yeah, Amber kind of put that right into words here, didn't she? She's 16. Thanks, Amber. It's hard with her. It's hard with Sadie because she doesn't act, and you know why. Shut your mouth. MDD says, can't wait for Matt to marry Amber. Oh, you're going to die disappointed, sir. Just saying. Everybody calm down. Evan Sense says, hi, Matt and all. You still in BC? I am in BC right now. I was working on Lucky all day today, cutting up boards, painting them, getting them all ready. It was actually, spoilers, working on countertops. That's it. Hey, there it is, Captain Happy. Oh, Matthew, I finally got my bed frame and my van built. Just need a mattress. Good. So here's my plan, sir. So Captain Happy Pants is over on my Patreon. He's been supporting me for a while. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I've purchased 2 custom mattresses from Dormir in Calgary. The first one I had was quite firm. I had it for a while. I got fed up with it after my back surgery, and I got another one made, around $500 or whatever. Pretty good deal to get custom any size you want. So I got a soft one made, and that's the one that I hauled out of here into my parents' basement while I redesigned the bed. Well, the bed frame is now a completely different size, so I got to go back to Dormier and place another order, and they're going to make me a trifold mattress. Yay! Super excited for that. My plan is to plan it this way. So Captain Happy Pants has been building his van for a while. I got 2 mattresses, and I just said, dude, you still need a mattress? We actually wrote it. Full transparency, he wrote me on Patreon or Instagram or something. It was like, if you're just getting rid of the mattress, can I have it? So I didn't respond to him for like the longest time, which I'm sorry, dude. I'm a little busy. But now it's in my parents' basement, just taking up space. So my plan is when I go back to Calgary next time, I got hopefully one more week where I go back and I Airbnb it with Brooklyn for a week. I'm going to go up to Dormier. I'm going to order the new mattress, get them to make it, so that I'm going to come back here next weekend, and then hopefully the build is done. I'm going to throw that old mattress into Lucky, drive back to Calgary, give Captain Happy Pants the soft mattress, and then go to Dormier and get mine. That's my plan. We will see if it happens. I don't know if it will, but I don't want to have 2 mattresses in the van, that's for sure. The mattress that I'm giving him, it'll be too small, right? That's the whole thing. Total Text says, you're my hero, Matt. That's way too much responsibility for me. I appreciate that, but I'm going to go cry in a corner now. Just kidding. Somebody asked earlier how Brooklyn liked the pirate coloring book. She loves all of her coloring books and the stickers. And my goodness, I was actually using the East. I got a set of Easter coloring books, coloring / sticker books, and that was her big thing when she was out here for the week with me last week. I'm very excited to share those videos with you. Next week's videos will feature her a lot because that's when she was out here. So I got a lot done on the van, but obviously not as much as I could have because it's just a different sort of style when I have her here. And I would rather be spending time with her. I like spending time with her. So I got stuff done, but she's also featured heavily in the videos, and I'm very excited to share those with everybody. I've got Mondays and Tuesdays posted and ready to go, and I'm editing Wednesdays, obviously. And I like it. It's a nice sort of change up to have her here and go off on little side quests with her as I'm doing things. You know, it's like I always want to be careful because she's my little girl, and I'm never going to overshare. But she's such a big and important part of my life. Showing some of what we're doing and how absolutely adorable and incredible this little human can be is really important to me. And especially when it comes to this little structure that's right beside me here. Tuesday's video, it's just fresh in my mind. I just finished editing it this morning and uploading it today. It's like one of those like father-daughter moments where I was only aware of those things in movies and whatnot, being a parent. Other than that, my only experience was ever being on the child end, right, with my parents. Now that I'm getting to do this, I have this one moment where we're doing stuff here, and it's just, sorry, hang on. It's not even sad. It's such a fun thing, and I'm getting all emotional. But anyways, I'm excited to share that little thing. I already put it on Patreon. People know that. They saw what I'm talking about, although people are probably not like, what is he specifically talking about? But yeah. Anyways, that's next week's videos. Moving right along. Are you having your mattress made for your van yet? Not yet, Vernon, although you probably know that from what I just ranted about. Training Pause, thank you so much for the super sticker, sir. That's very kind of you. 3 pounds. Good gravy. We can retire. End the stream. I'm just kidding. But conversion is crazy. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, dude. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm seeing all of your comments here. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Total Tech says, Amber is hot. Amber better put herself in a cold bath if she's that hot. I absolutely will, sir. I do appreciate that. She deserves all of the spoiling. And I hear this a lot from people saying that Emily, is her full name Emily? Emily. Yeah, no, her first name. Okay, sure. But I've heard this a lot that that she has a lot of leaks with her high top roof, and she's had that ever since she bought it, right? So that's the kind of stuff that scares me. Like I deal with enough leaks from all the holes I blow in Lucky. I don't need to be taking off my whole damn roof and trying to make it leak proof. That'd be crazy. Your Wrangler comes with the option for 35s now and higher gear ratio. Gear ratio makes no sense to me. Don't type it into chat, even though I know somebody will. I don't understand any of that stuff. And 35s from stock is impressive. I know I can put 33s on. I feel like with 35s, I need a little lift. I could be wrong. I don't know if you talked about this earlier since I came later, but I was wondering what you think about sliding doors for your cupboards. Nay. I saw your comment, Danielle. Danielle, actually, in the comments a while back, or maybe it was on Patreon. No, it was in the comments. I get the appeal of them. The space that I've allotted and the way that I've built over here, I would have to lose vertical space in order to have a track, right? So I'm just going to keep it basic. I also was at Silverton Building Supplies today and thinking about building the cupboards and knowing that I want doors. There's these really nice little black knobbies. I don't know what this is. It's me grabbing the knobbies and opening up my doors that they have there. So that's probably, I'm just going to stick with that for this build because I know I can make it work and whatnot. But yeah, that's the answer for the sliding doors. When Lucky 2.0 is completed, will you be going to your parents' home as often as you do currently? No. I'll be back to the regularly scheduled programming, right? I'll be back in Calgary more full-time on my usual schedule with my little girl, and we will be. I'll be coming out here as frequently as I was before. Maybe a little bit more now that I've proven to myself that I can zip back and forth very quickly with the Jeep. So we shall see. Might be nice to sort of lean into some Jeep camping on the odd occasion here and there, right? Those videos did very well when I was traveling back and forth and sleeping in Grace. And I did want to treat myself to a camping trip this weekend while I'm here. I don't know if I'll have time to do that. Like, and when I say that is there's a place near here where I can go on a sort of like mountainous road to a nice little camping spot just to unwind. If it ends up that I get a whole bunch of stuff done tomorrow, maybe I will, but that means I'd have to leave tomorrow in order to do that camping trip. Maybe next weekend would be better. Maybe as a reward for finishing up the van, if that is what happens. But yeah, it'll be back to what it usually was. Michelle says, Lucky and Grace are really cool. Glad you have them both. Not a question, more of a statement, but I appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you so much. Stingray says, Matthew, have you tested the heater now that it is installed behind the driver's seat? It's not installed yet. It's my co-host for this evening. Remember, Stingray? It's right here. It ain't going to work. Not very well, not like this. All right. Everybody calm down. Wait. Oh, I'm losing my stand for my computer here. Lady Time says, I watch every episode in order, but usually I don't have to worry about order because I'm usually tapping my foot waiting for the next. Yeah, Bobby, you're usually in the comments with a lot of support too, and I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is the bed made where it lifts up to access stuff on the inside so you don't have to go in back in the drawers to grab stuff? No. So I guess that shot from the vlog a couple videos back where I was putting my Dixons into the smaller drawer, I guess people assumed that's where I'd be going every day to put on flannels. People missed it, I guess. I got a lot of flannels. That's going to be overstock, right? Like where I can put extra stuff like flannels and jackets and whatnot. Those drawers are only designed to be accessed from the outside. So the small drawer, flannels, because it needs to be, kept very light. The larger drawer will be stuff that is I don't need on the daily. Penny's catio, camping gear, stoves, propane, stuff like that is what's going to go in the larger drawer. Jackets and whatnot, odds and ends. My booster cables, my booster pack, all that sort of stuff. That's what's going to live in those drawers, and it will only be accessed through the back. I will not have to, don't worry, I won't have to be getting dressed in the freezing cold temperatures or anything like that. I still have my, over here, the camera's reversed. I still have my, the camera's reversed, but the fan isn't. What's the matter with me? I still have my hanging cabinets here. I'm probably going to put a few more hanging cabinets on that side when we will have plenty of storage for clothes on the daily. Oh, wow, we're way behind. Holy crap, everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm going to play catch up here. I'm just going to go back, see if I can find any cues. This is why it's important to put cues in the chat. Hang on. Uh-oh. Sharon says, has anyone else other than myself started receiving the scam text from Vanlife Plus? Seems you can't report it, so I blocked it. Hope it helps catch the thugs, some people's kids. Is this on YouTube, Sharon? I haven't seen that for a while, man. We haven't had anything like that. Good. Oh, there's a brand new comment. I love that people think I'm part of the problem on my video where I was complaining about people being messy because I parked in Walmart. That's hilarious. I don't see these comments on YouTube. I'll have to take a deeper dive into it later, Sharon. Ugh, that's so obnoxious. That was happening like a few months ago. Almost everybody was getting questions like that or comment replies like that on YouTube. Matthew, how come you had to have a new clutch put in? Spoilers for an upcoming vlog, Vernon, you son of a bee. It was a recall. I didn't do anything to the clutch. I don't know. I shared that on Patreon. A lot of people were like, oh, you were being rough on Grace. I literally said, no, it's a recall. So you're a mechanic. I got a recall from Chrysler. And they're like, yo, it's got to come in. It's going to burst into flames and you'll die. We do it for free. So that's all that was. It was a new clutch and a new gear position sensor. Cats, that's funny. Kevin spams me constantly. I don't know what's going on there. Isn't it always the way? I'm in the Okanagan trying to camp as much as I can before the season gets going, and all you and those dang Albertans take all the good spots. It's true. Everybody from Alberta just invades the Kootenays and the Okanagan when the weather gets nice. It's the way it is. It's the way it always will be. So it shall be decreed. I don't know what the question. Will the EcoFlow air conditioner return to Lucky once it gets hot again this summer? Thanks, Bill. Yes, it will. I'm very excited to implement it. My problem last year, and it was very quickly pointed out to me, that I wasn't venting it properly because it comes with two hoses, right? But there's no way to do that properly. Like it wasn't built that way. I had no way to vent two giant ass hoses out of my van. But now that we've got the refrigerator moved and we've got space in the middle of the seats, my plan is to put the EcoFlow power station in the middle of the seats and the Wave 2 on top of it when I need to. Everybody just calm down, not permanently. And then I actually found a shop on Etsy, which obnoxiously enough, they're on vacation right now, so I can't order it. But they custom make a window mount that goes on the passenger window. What the heck? Oh, Kevin's texting me. He's very upset with what I just said, probably. Where you roll the window down, you put this in, you roll the window up a bit, and it tightens up in. And then it's got two adapters that the hoses clamp into, so it just vents right out the passenger window. That will be perfect. And then we can enjoy all of the air conditioning by the Wave 2 in here and hopefully at peak efficiency. So, yes, that is the plan. Let's see what Kevin said. I'm too curious now. This is not spam. Ah! Son of a bitch. All right. He needs more funnels. I found a rooftop carrier for $150. Is it worth that? Depends on the carrier. That's hard to answer. $150 for a rooftop carrier if it's in good condition and can be locked. Yeah. If it's going to work with your like application, I would lock that down. So when are you buying that Jeep Wrangler, right? If only it was real. Lucky 3.0 videos coming next. Yeah, eventually. Maybe in 2026, maybe in 2025. Honestly, I plan out my chapters a bit again to go back to like the movie maker side of me. And I'm very fussy with my toque apparently, but I'm also very fussy when it comes to storytelling and the way I want things to go. So I do plan things out. So as we all know, this is chapter 4 of Vanlife Plus, and the title of the chapter is Sea of Heartbreak. And I'm sharing with everybody the relationships, the important relationships I had in my life before van life that sort of helped make me the man I am, the experiences that I went through. Because a lot of us have all gone through experiences like that in the past. And so there's a lot of relation there that people can get on board with, right? That being said, I planned that. I'm like, okay, in chapter 3, I'm like, I know that's what I want the focus of chapter 4 to be. I didn't know when I wrote that down that I was also going to have a Jeep Wrangler at the time. But that's been a change. And then as an example, I've wrote out the basic line of the overarching theme of what I want chapter 5 to be. And then the under theme of chapter 5 as a stretch goal was like the build on Lucky 2.0 will begin. At that time, Lucky 2.0 in my head was a completely different vehicle. So I had this goal to shoot for that over the remainder of chapter 3 and chapter 4, I would get to a place where I could buy another vehicle and build another tiny home on wheels. I had no plans to redo Lucky ever. But then it happened, right? And I love that. I got here. I said, I'm going to start with the vent or the fan. Haven't even touched the fan yet. And I ripped everything out of Lucky. Carpe diem. I had the opportunity to do this, and I took that opportunity. Ian, I see your super chat. Sorry, dude. I'll get there in a minute. And I like that. So things have changed. So obviously, chapter 5 won't have a Lucky 2.0 build. I would be shocked if it has a Lucky 3.0 build, though. But it's nice. Like, I can plan as much as I want. But when stuff just happens, that's kind of exciting too. And I love that. Is the EcoFlow air conditioner also a heater? Yes, it is. It is. I've never tested that functionality, so don't ask me. I would like really, really small ones, like the tiniest ones, about the size of moving right along. Oh, it's on Facebook and Instagram. Interesting. How many Dixons have you? How many Dixons have you? I don't know how many Dixons have me. Blew the clutch. Funny. Oh, all good, Vernon. I got to pick on you when I can. Am I going to need a heat shield for your floor with the heater? I highly doubt it. I didn't need one before. What I'm going to do, I know people are really worried about this, like, oh, your fridge is going to work overtime. Your wires are going to be too close to the heater. Like, I'm not just blowing hot air into this box, right? There's going to be the heater ducting, and I'm going to wrap the ducting in Reflectix. So, we should be fine. Mine has a 4.8. Yeah, mine's the same. I got the 4.8 Vortec. I don't know what kind of mileage I get. I don't have that. I don't do the calculations for it. I just drive, and when the gas is low, I put more in. I don't know. Michelle Swanson, did you get a new frigerator yet? Frigerator? Sorry, Michelle, I got to pick on you. Yeah. Thanks, Lone Wolf. I appreciate that. Please tell me about that. I need it. Are you talking about the heater, Carol? Amphibious North says, how are the fuel prices out your way? Well, I'll tell you this. After the regime that is Trudeau introduced the new carbon tax, the gas prices in Alberta and Canada, or Alberta and BC, are pretty much on par. I filled up in BC, and then I drove back to Alberta, and the gas prices were I think 2 cents cheaper, maybe. Not even. So I'm not really feeling it. I know people that are in Alberta proper were pretty upset about it. But when you're paying BC prices. Here it's about $1. Well, there is a variance. It's about $1.65 to $1.79, depending on where you go. And remember, for my American friends, that's per liter, not per gallon. Danielle says, maybe you've talked about this, but I was wondering if you represent Dixon eventually, since you are such a good model for them. Oh, that's very kind of you. I don't know. I'm not a model for them. I highly doubt they'll ever ask me to represent them officially because I do it for free already. It's funny too, and the same goes for, so no, to answer your question, no. My goal, Danielle, and we talked about this earlier in the vlog, my goal, if I had one, would be to get a Vanlife Plus Cross Dixon collaboration where they make a flannel that says like Vanlife Plus, where it says Dixon up here, and then some colors that I would choose. I haven't given it so much thought that I know what colors I would want yet, but that would be cool. But no, I don't represent them in that sense. I'm not sponsored by them, and I got to talk about it because like in today's video I was ripping into people a bit because they were giving me a hard time for drinking Revita tea, and they were giving, oh, stop trying to sell me stuff, I don't like that it's an infomercial. Like, yo bro, I'm just drinking tea. I don't get any money from them. They're a local company that I enjoy. I find it amusing that nobody gave me shit when I was showing close-ups of Monster energy drinks or Reign energy drinks and talking about Reign. Like I was just enjoying what I enjoy, right? The internet is a funny and fickle place. That's for damn sure. Finally got around to it, Ian. My apologies. Will we see more of the boat restoration in the future? That's a great question. Yeah, eventually. Eventually I'm gonna crack down and have to start looking at engines because I do want to get her back on the water sooner rather than later. That's probably not a this year thing. Maybe next year, but it's definitely not something I'm going to let just continually slide. I hope. But yeah, I mean, it's right next to Lucky right now. I would love, it's not really a restoration. It just needs a new engine, but unfortunately needs a whole overhaul, right? So we'll figure it out. In the very far future, I'm going to grab a solar generator. Which one do you think we should get? If you're going a little bit more affordable and still want reliability, Vitamin's been great. That's what I would go with if you're looking for a little bit more of an affordable generator. If money's no option and you want reliability, the EcoFlow has been great, flawless. No issues at all with EcoFlow. The reason they're so expensive is because they're quality and they are reliable. Nothing has ever broke. Even on the Vitamins, I've had ports stop working, like little USB-C ports just stop working altogether. The EcoFlow has been a beast. Same goes for the Wave 2, and same goes for the newest addition to the Lucky household. But yeah, just it kind of depends on how much you want to spend. Vitamin is powering this live stream right now, actually. Thank you, E. Whittaker. I'm glad you love the channel. I am glad you're enjoying the content. Tracy says, Matthew, would you buy land as a base? I don't know. I don't know enough about buying land to say yes definitively. I looked into like land in my area when I was in Alberta, and it's all massive. It's all like acreage style. I'm like, that kind of money, why don't I just buy something that already has a house on it? You know, I haven't like taken a deep dive into smaller plots of land. I've talked about this before. If I do well enough and I am at a place where I can afford it, I want a nice, really nice property somewhere outside of the city that's still easy enough to commute to Calgary, that has a really nice house on it that I can kind of reward myself with for a night, for all the hard work that I'm doing, putting into my channel and my life. Shut up. Not you, Tracy, but the haters out there. I would love to be able to do that eventually. I mean, I'm a dad first and foremost, and people got their opinions on everything and the approach to that, and that's fine. But I think that's what I would like. And as I mentioned earlier, it'd be great then if that property has a garage on it and I can continue to do builds, whether it be vans or trailers or whatever, trucks, SUVs, that sort of thing. That would be a lot of fun. That's kind of where I see myself going generally. If we're doing that whole like sit down for a job interview, where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's the best sort of answer I can give regarding that. Lone Wolf says, how's Penny doing? She's doing really good. I saw her right before the live stream, gave her dinner and a bunch of treats. She's good to go. Matthew, you had a 12 days of Christmas. You should do a 24 days. That sounds like double the work. Dixon still needs to release a cider version. Yes, I think they should. I don't think they ever will, but that'd be funny. Ha! Funny story, Debbie. Will you be getting Mom a new Dixon for Mother's Day? She needs more. She only has one, the one that I'm giving her. Oh, funny. I bought her one. It's going to be in the vlog that's coming up, I don't know, next Monday or something, not the Monday after. I did buy her one. I bought her the barrel because, number one, it was advertised as being very orange, which is her favorite color. And number two, because I wanted to see how a woman's size would fit on her, because she's wearing a men's extra large, right? And it's very large on her, my Dixon's, right? The shoulders slump down quite a bit, and she had to roll the sleeves up, I think, about twice. So I wanted to see, I'm like, let's see if a Dixon women's large will fit you. So I ordered that for her, surprised her with it when I came back. One, it's not orange at all. It's very brown, which is disheartening for me because my barrel is sitting in my UPS box. Whatever. And then she came out to the garage with the bad news and said it doesn't fit. She couldn't even get it closed, right? So unfortunately, it's fit, as I say in the vlog, for Glamour magazine models, which aren't real women. So I reached out to Dixon, and they're super simple to get a refund. So I just got to mail it back, and I will get her a more appropriately orange Dixon in the future. And maybe what she needs to do is we need to get together with Byron. I bought him a large Dixon for Christmas. I want to see how a male's large fits him, because when I was at Foundry a while ago, I talked with them, and they're a local place in Calgary at Cross Iron Mills in the mall there, and they're a Dixon reseller. And they don't carry women's anymore. And the reason they don't do that is because the men's do tend to just fit girls a bit nicer. Like you get a little bit of that taper, and by and large, they're too small, right? So they carry the males, and they say for girls, just size down a couple, right? So all that is to say, I was ahead of you, Deb. Dixon should sponsor you. Thanks, Vernon. Matthew, did you get a new refrigerator from C? I don't know who C. From Craze? Is that what you mean by C? Gas prices are very insane. Are you upgrading the fridge situation? Probably. Where did you learn all of your carpentry and electrical skills? YouTube. And like my grandfather's ability, like he taught me to like fix stuff, right, on my own. He was the kind of guy that like just would do everything with his hands. He would, if it broke, he would fix it. And he definitely instilled that in me. So I've taken that over everything else that my dad taught me growing up. And then with the era that we live in, with so much information available at our fingertips, that's it. It's just like, I used to build Legos. How hard could it be to build a cupboard that's larger? You know what I mean? You just got to kind of think in a 3-dimensional space, and it's possible. And it's not ever going to be professional. I'm not good enough for that, and I get that. But yeah, just learning from other people online. That's how I've pretty much taught myself to do a lot of the stuff in my adult life, all the way from the van build stuff down to video editing and photo editing, right? We live in a very fortunate time in that sense. I was very excited that I can get Dixon in Australia. Yeah, you bet. You can get Dixon everywhere. Canada, United States, Australia, and the UK. Go back to drinking Rain energy drinks. Yeah. Just to piss people off or make people sad. Good night, Redneck Escapades. Thanks for being here. Well, you're probably gone. I'm probably too far behind. I would buy the Vanlife Plus Dixon. Well, I sure hope you would, like Dale, if it was a real thing. How do you like Revita tea? Does it keep your energy up? So far, so good. I got no complaints about it being my caffeine replacement. I did it for myself because the energy drinks I were drinking, those are pure toxic. I know them. I know that that's the way it is. The shit that's in those energy drinks is very, very bad for you. I'm not like, oh, don't drink it ever. Like, come on. Hello, this isn't an energy drink, but it's probably worse for me. But even when you're drinking one of those energy drink cans a day, you're doing damage to yourself. The alternative for me was to get a coffee, and I don't like coffee. So now I'm putting 4 to 5 sugars in my coffee, and that's not healthy either. So when I discovered the teas and I learned that they were local, I was like, let's give them a shot. I didn't love them at first. It's in the vlog where I was a little apprehensive about the strawberry one that I picked up at Co-op. I was kind of like, because it's not carbonated, right? And that's what I was used to from a cold energy drink. But they grew on me. And I can confidently drink 2 or 3 of those throughout the day if I need it, which is very rare. Most of the times I'll have 2. But I can drink 3 of those throughout the day and not feel horrible. I feel fine. It's my caffeine replacement, and it's been great so far. What about Blue Eddy? My Blue Eddy crapped out on me. I don't back them anymore. It's my personal experience. Shiny Nickel Blade says Jackery, to go back to the solar generator comment. I don't have any experience with Jackery. They're probably just as good as EcoFlow, though, if I was to be a guessing man. Stop saying solar generators. They are battery storage. They do not generate energy. They generate energy from the sun through the solar panels, so I would continue to call them that, especially just to get under your skin. Get land and make a campground. That could be fun. That's true. With enough money, I could do something like that. That would be fun. A van life plus campground. Not a bad idea. I mean, I have had like crazy, albeit let's say like greedy thoughts where it's like I get to a position where I can afford this like awesomely massive piece of land with this like beautiful mansion log cabin-esque style home on it, and then I can have like my Patreon meetups there every year, like this like gated compound, you know, like we're talking like fantastical nonsense, right? But everybody has thoughts and dreams and stuff like that, and I don't know, I get myself lost in those thoughts every once in a while. It's fun to go down those weird rabbit holes and you snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Have I given any more consideration to YouTube memberships? Both Bruce, Vanlife Jr., and Chrome have said they like it better than Patreon. I don't know why. I don't have their arguments, Greg. Off the cuff, with no experience, I would say I don't understand how they could like it better. I guess ease of access and not having to use a secondary app, but YouTube is still going to take a huge cut of the cost there, and Patreon does not. So I don't know. I know a lot of people want me to do it, and I could just turn it on. But it's the idea of sharing bonus content to 2 separate platforms. Like, I'm not going to ask my entire Patreon community to move over to YouTube memberships, right? We've got a great community over there with a whole like chat where everybody can interact with each other. Oh, and also, I keep meaning to put this on Patreon, but everybody here who's on my Patreon, you might not know this yet, but the chat function is now available on desktop. So you don't have to be on the app to join the chat community over there. So I don't know. We'll see. I'd have to do a little bit more research in order to like make an official decision, I suppose. But off the cuff, it's just that's more money for the YouTubes. You know what I mean? Am I really happy with Lucky 2.0? It's not. Well, I don't know. It's not Lucky 2.0 yet. It's only Lucky 1.5. I'll let you know when I finish. Good night, Karen. Thank you for being here. Why did I name the van Lucky and the Cheap Grace? Lucky is named Lucky because she came around and saved my life, and that was very lucky, and I was very fortunate to find her. Grace is named after the Irish pirate queen, Grace O'Malley. That is her full name, just like Penny's name is Penelope. Grace's full name is Grace O'Malley. Thank you for giving your opinion on one of the reasons why people are being kicked out of Walmart parking lots, and I'm sure there will be more to come. Yeah, probably. And there's going to be so many more people living in their cars if the housing crisis continues the way it is. That's just fact. It's the way of the world right now. People's rents have gone up. My cousin moved because her rent was going to get jacked up, and she moved, and she's still not really paying less than she would have, but at least the place is newer. Like, it's a real thing right now. Costs are through the roof. The people that can still afford to pay their rent and their mortgage and feed themselves are very, very fortunate, and I hope they know that. There's lots of people out there that are feeling a huge tight squeeze, and that is very, very unfortunate. And that's why it's important that these people understand and know. And I know that those people probably aren't even watching my video, but if it's what I'm feeling, I'm going to get off my chest. They got to know that if this is what you're going to do, you can't just, I don't know if it's out of ignorance or anger towards the way their lives have ended up, but to like treat public spaces that way. Somebody sent me a clip from a news report down in California where there was this problem with some van lifers and nomads occupying the space near beach property, but they were very, very close to homes. And one of the residents, one of the homeowners, was being interviewed, and when he was complaining, he was pretty harsh. And at first, you'd be like, "Oh, shut up! You just hate all van lifers." But that's not the case. He kind of brings some good points. He's like, "Yeah, no, there's way too many of them. They've got stuff everywhere." One guy came out of his van and he just starts taking a piss on the ground right outside his van, and it's like, yeah, that's grounds for complaints, and that's grounds for, going to your city council and getting these people removed. Like, I don't know. I can't explain why people are that way. People like to shoot back at me. Well, you're part of the problem. Yeah, all right, bud, whatever you say. But I'm talking about the people that just go out of the way to disrespect the space. If everybody was just neat and tidy and just kept to themselves, there wouldn't be as much of a problem. You know what I mean? Moving around is important, but I try to stress to do it every day. Obviously, there's instances where you can't. I've stayed at Walmart 2, 3, 4 days. Has been my max I've ever stayed there. I stayed parked in the same spot at a Walmart, albeit at the back, 4 days, one time in my entire time of being in my van. But I don't have shit out, right? When I go to my van, I go in, I open the door, I close the door, I'm inside. There's nothing outside. But some people just don't seem to care. I have to assume they just don't think or something. I don't know. Because every time I see little like stuff like that, why do you need a foldable table outside with a whole bunch of boxes underneath it? You know what I mean? You just don't. I don't know. It's all shit. You can't take it with you anyway. More camping and grace to come. Hopefully. I was just talking about that earlier, Jeeper. Yeah, hopefully that's in the cards. Roger that says, "Hey, Matt, have you ever taken a look at the American Safari JXL Extended cheap conversion? That's all Greek to me." No, I have not. I'll have to Google that later. Stampede Boot Company does sell Dixon flannels. That's in Calgary. I know. I haven't gone down there yet. I should go and see. It's a little bit closer to where I usually am around. We will see. During Christmas, you did that one video with the train. That reminded me so much of what we did as a family. It just brought tears as both my parents recently passed. Well, my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. A lot of people really enjoyed that video. That video is probably, I don't see any video in chapter 4 beating that video in terms of being my favorite. I just had such a good time there. I was so emotional. That entire night, tears of joy were coming just from watching my little girl on the train. And then I had to edit it afterwards. I shit you not. I talked about this on a previous live stream. I cried through the entire editing process, and I got so into it that I would go back to watch the same scene over just to feel that like tears of happiness. And it's so much. I don't even want to say fun. It's just absolutely incredible being a parent and then being able to re-see the world through your child's eyes. That sounds so corny and like something like Hallmark would say, but it is so true. I know it's just something that only parents will understand. And then it's even more of a niche as a parent who is like cataloging my life and my experiences and in the unique way that I am. One of my favorite shots was when we first walked outside to the train, and we got lucky that we got to like go up our alley because they kind of corral you in and your ticket indicates where in the stalls you walk to. So we got lucky and we ended up being at the front of our stall. we were being herded like sheep. It's true. But then the shot that I did with my camera where I showed behind Brooklyn, and she was just so in awe of looking up at the train and all of the people on the train waving so emphatically with the music playing, which of course I couldn't use. I had to dub over my own music for copyright reasons. But I panned down just to show her and then slowly reveal the train. She was just slowly waving up at them. And I could just, even from the back of her, I know that she was just in awe of this. And it's that like wonder of being a kid and experiencing something new for the first time. Being able to capture that on film for myself is just, it really is magical. I feel like that's a word that shouldn't be used loosely, and that really, really was an absolutely magical moment. So I'm very glad that episode resonated with so many of you as well. Where are you going to put your EcoFlow and your vitamin? I have a Jeep. One of my vitamins is probably actually going to my cousin because I don't. Come on, let's get serious. Am I going to take my Jeep on some backcountry adventures in the future? Yeah, hopefully. Am I going to buy an ATV? Probably not. Good night, house. I'm very behind now. It doesn't. What brand diesel heater do you have? It doesn't matter. All of the Chinese ones off of Amazon are the same. I could say Vivor, or Happy Buy, or whatever. It's all the same shit. These companies just buy these Chinese diesel heaters en masse and they just slap their name on them. So mine doesn't even have the brand on it. I believe it was Happy Buy. No, it definitely wasn't. It was one that you can't even get anymore. But like I said, those brands don't matter. Not when you're buying the Chinese ones on Amazon. That one Patreon video was basically a van life plus campground. You mean the meetup videos from last year? Yeah. Can we have real bathrooms, please? Says Jackie at the Van Life Plus campground. Right? Sorry, everybody. I'm just kind of playing slow catch up here. Yeah, the fact is, be respectful if you have a place to park. That's just it. And that's kind of what I said in that video, not to like harp on this topic a little like too much, but if you can go and park at a Walmart, just stay in your vehicle. Go into Walmart. Go in, walk around. That was my routine forever, and it'll be my routine again in the future. Go park your vehicle, go into Walmart. This is your life. You need to understand that, right? Your life is now different than it once was. Go into Walmart, patron the store, use the washrooms, go to the McDonald's, buy fucking deli meat or bread or something, right? Go back to your vehicle and just go inside. And just don't be putting shit outside. Don't leave trash everywhere. Like I don't know. I get these people they don't have any embarrassment in them, I guess. I would be embarrassed if I had trash outside my van. Ugh. That makes sense, Gregory Smith, about your argument about members and channels in the algorithm. All right, let's create YouTube memberships. Most of the Walmarts in Edmonton have shut down overnight camping. Even the South Common location. Can you confirm? Hey there, Kane B. Welcome to the chat, sir. Lovely to see you. Happy Saturday. How's the thumb? The thumb that I cut is better. So is the other one that you haven't seen yet. This one I just cut the other day. Ah. Oh, thank you, Carrie Jean. I appreciate that. Come to Drumheller this summer? I need to. You can stay at that Walmart, I think. I used to go there a lot when I worked at, I shouldn't say a lot, but I went there more frequently than I do now when I was working as a photographer with Lifetouch. I would do the grad photos at the high school out there. I like Drumheller. It's a cute little town. Hey, it's me, your cousin, ready to pick up my vitamin. Nice try. Can we see more screen time with Penny? How is she doing, by the way? She's doing really good. She's downstairs. She's still living in the lap of luxury in her little palace there. Yeah, I try to in the vlogs. It's hard because like she's in the house. It's like, here's Penny in the house. It's hard to interact with her when I'm trying to get stuff done. But a couple videos next week and upcoming, I do have some footage with her. So my apologies for the lack of Penny in the videos. Don't worry. She's well and good, and she will be making a very large return once we are back in the van full time. Matt, am I the baby of the family? No, Byron's younger than me, 6 years younger. Matthew's diesel heater is all brands because he took it apart and put different parts in it. Yeah, that's true. I got Matthew a new diesel heater and he won't put it in. That's right. It's sitting right outside, actually. I'm going to be stealing parts from that one, though. Will you be getting back to Banff soon? I would love to. I need to do that sooner rather than later because as soon as the summer season hits, that place pops off and there's like no place to stay. Yeah, I should make an effort to get out there sooner rather than later, though. Even a weekend at the campground would be nice. I miss that place. Although it was a big feature of the last chapter, so it's not really surprising to this creator that it's lacking in this chapter. Danielle says, "Hey, Matt, I'm so sorry." Oh, sorry. She says, "I'm so sad. I'm late, but better late than never. Watch you all the time. How's the weather today? Lots of love from Ontario, Canada." It's been rainy as all get out. Rain nonstop here today in New Denver, which is the first time since I've been here that it's done that all day. Usually it's on and off and mostly off, but today it was just rain. Would you stay in the Walmart parking lot if they started charging for it? I love Patreon. It depends on how much they charge and how that whole system would work, but probably if it like means I can stay there and be unbothered and whatnot, that could be a good copacetic relationship for sure. But again, it would depend on the amount of money, right? And like, yeah, no, that would be enough. It would have to be reasonable. Michael Ives from Saskatchewan. Hello, sir. Someone send Matthew some Band-Aids. Mr. Red Taco, I'm good, thank you. Van My Ruth. I just stayed at South Common Walmart last night without any issue. There were other campers there. There you go. Cool. Hi, Ruth. How you doing, darling? Somebody poured used engine oil in the bushes and the landscaping. That's not a good idea. Don't do that. Just because it came from the earth doesn't mean it should go back after it's dirty. Athena says, yes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be one of what I consider lucky ones at some point to be living that lifestyle. It's just going to be a while before I'm allowed to. Well, welcome when you join us, darling. Glad you're part of the community right now. Did I watch Chrome's live stream last night? No, I did not, sir. Hopefully he wasn't offended. But I was busy working on Lucky and I was so tired. Like I said, I was doing the electrical yesterday and I was in a miserable crotchety mood. I was going to do a live stream last night. This live stream was going to be a TGIF stream, but I was done after the electrical yesterday. I almost fell asleep on the couch watching some TV with my parents after I was done. Mark from Kentucky. Hello, sir. How are you? Stingray says, hey, Matthew, is the app iOverlander really reliable? I'm planning a solo drive and planning to car camp on the way mostly. Can I rely on this app to be at least accurate? Yeah, for the most part. In my neck of the woods, I've noticed that it's pretty reliable, and when places are closed, they're closed. But it's a good way to find other things like showers and whatnot as well. Just use common sense. And if you get to a place and you get a bad feeling, don't stay there. You know what I mean? Listen to your gut, as they say. Oh, where's the dancing and potty breaks? Not trying to plant any ideas, right? Nothing's going right through me tonight. But that did remind me that I need to refresh my drink. All right, sorry. Walmart in Lethbridge lets people stay for 72 hours. See, that's not a bad gig. 72 hours. That means you can stay permanently there for 72 hours. Nothing wrong with that. Let's all go to Lethbridge. Just kidding. Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to give the shout out that I usually do. If you've just joined us, we're just hanging out, having a nice chatty chat. I don't know, one of those two. The last live stream from the OG Lucky build, but more like Lucky 1.5. You got any questions about van life or van build or anything in general you want me to answer, throw it into the chat. It definitely helps if you type 3 capital Qs before your question. It helps it stand out. Better chance I will see it. I am definitely behind in answering the questions, so if I don't get to it right away, bear with me. I'm doing what I can. What did I have for dinner this evening? My mom made, Lindsay and Sadie were here, so mom made some rice and sausage with peppers and onions and a teriyaki sauce. And I had this much because I'm not the biggest fan of all of that stuff. Where's my rum? I'm out of Coke. You're never out of Coke. Just reach into the bag. Matthew, do you ever plan to have a baby brother or sister for Brooklyn? I don't know that I could choose what it was going to be, and no, I have no plans to do that. It'd be very difficult for me to do that on my own. But no, she's my one and only, and I don't really see myself doing that again. I guess the universe could always have different plans for me, like I was saying earlier about the van build and all of that, so you just never know. But right now, nay. Oh, Brooklyn is my one and only. Glad you're finishing the van build. Thank you. I'm working on it. I'm so jealous that you have snow in here in New York. We have none. Love your snow videos. Thank you. I don't have any snow here in BC. Alberta's housing all of the snow right now. Thanks, Alberta. I appreciate that. Good night, Rachel. I'm sure you're probably gone already, but good night. Is camping at Norbury on the agenda for this summer? I don't think so. You'd have to ask the camping guru, which is Lindsay. She was here earlier, but she's gone now. I don't think Norbury is on the agenda. I think the closest we might get that way into BC is a return to Premier Lake. But Norbury, I don't think so. Everyone has happy go-to music to lift their mood. What is mine? I don't know. I got so much music I can listen to lift my spirits. Avril Lavigne is a good go-to for me. She's my guilty pleasure. I've been listening to her since I was a little boy, teenager, I guess. I grew up with her right through my most impressionable years, as a lot of people in my generation did. A lot of Irish punk music. Great Big Sea is an easy go-to to lift your spirits, as well as Bare Naked Ladies. I mean, the band and otherwise. That always helps. So, yeah, lots of options out there for sure. Did Brooklyn get up the hill with her bike? No. She can't go up a hill on her bike yet. That's too steep. How did my friend make out who had to get his license and then a van? That would be Destination Van Life, Mr. Chris Byers himself. I think he's still working on getting his license. And I know that my other buddy, Mike, who's going to be building a van, wants to sell him that van, so he better get on it. I don't know if Chris wants to buy that van or not, but no, still working on it. Oh, your lake videos are beautiful. Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate that. Any good gossip on Amber? Is she going to be able to find time for camping and some screen time? Probably not. I think she's screwed. I heard she retired young. She's living in the lap of luxury now. You probably won't see her too much anymore. Oh, Borealis Knights is scolding me. He doesn't like that I'm not doing things the way he wants to do it. Well, I'm tired. This is nice, but not focused. Focus some live chats with a real topic. Night, night. Dave, out. Have a good night, Dave. Lovely combating with you. And they are solar generators, sir. But anyway. I feel like the topic is Q&A, like the title says. I don't know. Lori says, when is the snow and cold done in Alberta? We're staying an extra month in Osoyoos due to weather already. I know. I'd like to know that too, right? I hope it's gone by the time I have to schlep back there. Oh, see, this is such a good question, and I feel so bad that I didn't weigh Lucky before I tore her apart. Ian asks, any idea how much weight Lucky has lost with all of these changes? No, I don't. I just assume it's a fair amount because plywood versus particle board and MDF board, right? Like, I don't know. I'll weigh her when she's done, and we'll see. And I know there was a video or two. There's a couple videos on the channel. Unfortunately, I don't remember which ones they are, where I did weigh Lucky. We'll go back and use that as a point of reference and see. Packlow 44 says, how will you fill your diesel tank in the new build? You used to be able to fill it straight from the pump. No, will you have to use Rotopacks? Stay tuned. I don't want to give too much away, but it's right there. Sharon says, since you have to get a new mattress made, will you also need custom-made bedding sheets? I don't know. I definitely we talked about this a while back in terms of size. I think it's always coming back to the size, isn't it, ladies? All right, calm down. I think queen size sheets will fit because my bed dimensions will be 69 by 72. Everybody just calm down, okay? It's funny. Stop laughing. So I think queens will fit, but who knows? Am I going to try to watch the eclipse? I hear that's a bad idea. Don't look right at it. I don't know. That's happening on, I don't know, when is that happening? Wednesday or something? Texan RV Life. Just want to say, hey, from southwestern Texas, southeast Texas. My apologies. Marsha says, are you getting a new bed? Yes, I will have to get a new bed custom made. Oh, Gregory Smith. I met Avril Lavigne while working in an airport screening about 18 years ago. She was not very nice that day. She's a lady. She's entitled to be in a bad mood. I'm looking for a custom mattress. Any suggestions? Dragonfly. I don't know where you're located. I've always used a place in Calgary called Dormir. Dormir. And they do everything. They'll make you whatever custom size mattress you want. Nancy's very adamant. If I had the option for a flush potty, would I switch? Maybe, but then I'd have to be dealing with like a black water tank. So I don't know. I don't think so. Matthew, now I know what you needed that for. What? Now you know I needed what for. Put a lift up section on the other side of the bed so you can raise your head up in the bed. Is that a bad idea, Andrew? Honestly, like make it like so it's kind of like a hospital bed. I don't see myself doing that now, though. Unfortunately, I'll just buy more pillows. Queen bed sheets are 60 by 80. Those won't work. Even the fitted sheets? Aren't the fitted sheets bigger? Because the 60 by 80 should be the regular sheet, right? Oh, dad joke. For Levine's life is complicated. Oh, Monday afternoon is when the eclipse is. Cool. What's your favorite flavor of the Revita tea? Mango. I recently got the strawberry one. Great videos and content is quality. Also, I got a catio for my cat by Coleman brand. Is that Penny's new catio brand? No. I can't. It's off Amazon. I can't remember the brand, unfortunately. Sorry. My apologies. EcoFlow all the way, says Vanetta McDonald. Right? They're good. Oh, for your diesel, don't want to say too much. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Vernon. Sorry. It's also funny because like with my videos, since my videos are so hyper focused on the build right now, it's a weird balancing act between not wanting to spoil stuff for people on Patreon, but also giving them some quality content over there. I want to like excitedly share everything with them all the time, but then it's like, what are they going to have to watch when the actual vlog goes live? Because everything is so focused right now. So that's a bit of a tricky balance, but I'm doing the best I can, guys. Bear with me. 72 by 80. That's the fitted sheet. Then that'll definitely work. Lady time, Bobby. You have yourself a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. Thank you for being here. Paulette says, would you consider dating if the right woman came along? I don't know that I'm in a place to like date. You know what I mean? Like I'm conveying everything I've gone through with my relationships in the past or throughout this chapter. And right now, all I need is just rock solid relationships in my life with people that I know aren't going to like flake out or get emotional or have, you're not doing this for me. You're not doing that for me. We're going to get to the reasons why I am the way I am and where my head is at by the end of the chapter. Of course, there's a reason this little bugger's around my neck, so to speak. Not so to speak. There is. Again, that goes back to you never know what the universe is going to like reveal to you or shuffle into your court, right? But right now, I've been having such a nice time living my life on my terms finally, that I'm still stuck on the idea that the definition of dating is just too much of a compromise for what I want in my life right now, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't think, this is true. I don't think Sadie's going to fit in the new catio. You'll be getting her one of her own. That's a great idea. Oh, right. I forgot that Sadie liked to go into that big catio with Stella and Penny. And I got the new one now because the old one finally sort of like showed its age and tore apart. But that new one, yes, Sadie will not fit in there. That's hilarious. Her own catio. Do I like blues music? I don't mind it at all. Blues and jazz and all that stuff. I can get on board with that. I like a lot of music. There's not a lot of music I don't like. Hardcore, heavy metal, and gangster rap, I'm not a big fan of. They have their places, though, that being said. Spoilers don't matter. Patreon peeps will still watch all the vids. LOL, hashtag not a question. That is true, Andrew. You're absolutely right. Huge spoilers on Patreon tomorrow. There you go. It's all Andrew's fault, everybody. Matthew likes to poop in a bucket. Why do you keep saying that? Just because it's true. Stop spreading rumors. Matthew, I think she's trying to ask you something. Who's who? Who? Marsha asks, am I planning to paint the rest of the van? Yes, I am. I wanted to do that this weekend, but it's like I said a little while ago, it's been nothing but rain here, right? I don't want to paint her in the garage. I mean, I guess I could. But then I'd be worried about dust and stuff because like the floor of the garage here is gravel, and I walk around. I don't know. I'm probably making excuses, but it will get painted eventually. Yes. That's funny. Is there any questions I would like you guys? Or is there any questions I would like you guys to answer? I don't know. It's mostly geared the other way. Debbie, I did see that video about radiant heat. I don't see myself doing that in this current build, but maybe in the future. That was a nice video. Thank you. If you do date, they gotta love Brooklyn also. Well, that goes without saying. It's not even about loving Brooklyn, but it's about showing up for her and being there for her. That's what I'm very hesitant of, right? So it's why it's way easier to introduce friends into Brooklyn's life. I was gonna say Sadie. It's easier to introduce friends into Brooklyn's life than anything that can complicate things down the road. You know what I mean? What's the top 3 items you need for Lucky to make life easier? Now watch 345 deliveries to the UPS. For that reason alone, Ian, I'm not going to say nothing. I am very happy. I am very fortunate. I am also very well looked after by my amazing community here. They do things that go above and beyond, and they think about things I don't even think about and send them to me. And I'm otherworldly fortunate when it comes to the support from my community. You are one of those people, Ian. Don't sell yourself short. Ian's one of the reasons I was able to get this awesome thing sitting right next to me. But it's true. So I don't need anything else. Baiting question. Thank you very much. But I'm doing very well. It's like a Jerry Seinfeld. I'm doing very well. Roaming worlds. There you go. I'm doing very well. Have you ever thought about one of those small compost toilets? I've thought about it. They're quite large. I take all responsibility. I don't know why I highlighted that, Andrew. Oh, for the spoilers on Patreon. Gotcha. Yeah, Marsha, welcome back to Patreon. I saw you join up. Yeah, that was 2 days ago. I think you joined back up. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support over on Patreon. Those compost toilets, again, they're quite large. They'd be awesome if I had a bigger van, a high top, and had a place to like slide it and hide it. Yeah, boy. That sounds like hide the pickle. And Lucky, probably not so much. All right, you're hilarious, Troy. I like the color of Lucky and Grace. They are great. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Graham says, hi, Matthew. I got up to see if you were still live. Well, I'm right here, sir. We'll probably wrap this up fairly soon, everybody. But for right now, we answering some questions, hanging out, and having some drinks. How does Brooklyn's mother agree with your life? I don't care if she does or not. And it's not my place to discuss that sort of stuff on here. But that's what's more important. You can't worry about what other people think, and that even when it comes to people like that. He needs Band-Aids and funnels. Stop. Roaming World says, I believe I renewed on the 1st to your Patreon. You might have, I don't know that your name over there might be different. Brian Kale says, I'm back. That big black lady and the Jewish guy were live. I can't remember their YouTube. They are awesome. I'm just, all right. I mean, that's descriptive. Yikes, dude. Gregory says, I'm such a minimalist that I'm always trying to have less stuff. Getting packages all the time like you do would drive me insane at Vanlife Plus. It is. It's a compromise. It can be a little bit of a struggle for sure. But it's a matter of like a first world problem, right? Like, again, it comes with like the generosity and the love that I feel when I get packages at the UPS store. It's just, I don't know. It trumps all of the other stuff for sure. Because it all comes from a place of genuine care for this schmuck that people are watching on the other side of their screen. No interest in a wood stove in the van. No, I considered it and thought about where it could go, but with Penny and everything, I just don't think it would be the best idea right now. Crazy Cat is joining the line of ladies waiting to be a future Matthew problem. Is that Kathy's daughter? Does Matthew need a new medical kit? I mentioned this earlier, Vernon. Actually, no. Bill from Old Denver reached out and said he was sending me one. So like I said, people are watching out for me. Hello, Dave Fest. Welcome to the live chat, sir. Am I putting Penny's scratching post in the van? No, that will remain here at my parents'. It's far too large. We'll find a spot for her to have another scratching thingy, though, for sure. How the hell do I put a diesel heater under my seat? I watch videos and it seems insane. I don't know. I've never done it, but a lot of people keep telling me to do that. It's like, no. How the hell are you going to put a diesel heater under your seat and have it swivel properly at the right height? You can't put it under your driver's seat because that's where the fuse box is. At least in the Chevy Express, right? So, I don't know. I'm very happy with where mine will be. Plus, I wouldn't want to remove my seat when I have to, like, service my diesel heater. Do I like to listen to audiobooks? I can't say that I do. I'm not like opposed to audiobooks, but I don't listen to audiobooks. You know, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I don't give them a thought because I'm not a big reader to begin with. So I think the older I get, the less interested I am getting in fictional stuff. And I get you could read nonfiction audiobooks or listen to nonfiction audiobooks. But I'm just like real life stuff is a little bit more interesting to me a bit, even though I'm still not a big fan of documentaries. And I understand the irony there. I'm making a documentary. I understand. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it is true when I made that statement. But I don't know. Like real stuff. I watch stuff on YouTube that's like real stuff, like real people doing real things. And I just find that a little bit more interesting, which I'm sure a lot of people on here can understand and relate to. Oh, see, this is the problem. Jason Kelly says, if you replace the front and back bumpers, which ones would you think you would get? I have no idea. I know nothing about bumpers. I don't even know where to start looking for bumpers, and they are not on my like high priority list. It would be nice to do for sure, but that would take some research on my part to figure out where I go. Because you can't just go, I'm not just going to go to Amazon and order a bumper. Like, I would want to go and physically see it. So I probably have to go down to a place in Calgary like Truck Outfitters or Raven Truck Accessories or something like that and see if they offer anything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any clue when it comes to bumpers. When do you think Lucky will be ready to go on adventures again? A week and a half. Hopefully. That's my goal. I want to be. Mine and Lindsay's camping trip is coming. Our first camping trip of the season is coming up the weekend of middle of April, 18th or 19th or something like that. So I want Lucky ready to go for then. Come hell or high water, I'll have her ready. That's just like the way I am. She might not be done, you know what I mean? But she'll be livable. I'm late to this chat and I'm wondering what it is about the funnels. There was a video a while back where I said I needed a funnel, and then in a future video, I ended up getting like a slew of funnels sent to me by subscribers, and it's just sort of become a Vanlife Plus joke. So everybody wants, because I made a big deal, be like, nobody send me any more funnels, or something like that in the video, right? So now it's just funny to say, hey, send Matthew funnels. People aren't entertained enough. So calm down, Carrie Jean. Hey, Whitney Nolan, welcome to the live chat. All good. We still here. Good night, Lone Wolf. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and your Sunday. When Matthew says a week and a half, figure 3 weeks. Calm down, Vernon. That challenge accepted, sir. Ooh, I'm going to hit the ground running tomorrow. Instagram notifications over there. Tiger stripe or flaming bumpers? If I had to choose, flaming bumpers. Oh, WeldTech design for bumpers. Oh, that reminds me. He reached out to me. Oh, no. He does like a podcast or something now, and he wrote me on Instagram and asked me if I'd want to like have a chat with him on his podcast. Oh, and he wasn't in my like notification messages. I'm going to have to write him back and say, yeah, I'd be down to have a chat with him. Oh, now I got to find the video. But thank you for reminding me about WeldTech design. I have nothing to do with them, but he did. He wrote me on Instagram, and I put off responding to him like a what was I going to say? Like a schmutz? Putz, maybe. I don't know. Good night, Marcia. Thank you for being here. Can we get a sneak peek of Lucky? Here it is. It's the sneak peek of Lucky. Okay. Anita says, how is Penny? Penny's doing very well. Thank you for asking. Whitney Nolan says, have you put more thought into switching over to a truck camper setup? Any new thoughts on that? No, actually, Lindsay asked me the same question tonight, oddly enough. It's still on my mind. I still want it. I think right now I'm in love with the idea of owning a Tundra, a Toyota Tundra, more so than having a camper. Like I would get a Tundra and put a camper on it. But the weight of that decision is based on me wanting a Tundra more than anything, and I don't need a Tundra. So that's definitely still on my mind, but it's in my back pocket for now, for sure. Especially since I'm redoing Lucky, right? Haunted Gabriola. Hello, Terry. How you doing? Would I ever consider putting 33-inch tires and a slight lift on your van, possibly convert it into a four-wheel drive? I probably wouldn't do the four-wheel drive conversion. Lifted could be cool, maybe. But again, going back to my previous statement about messing with like the way the vans and any vehicles are built from factory, I don't know if I'd want the potential problems that could come along with that. We'll see. Lividson Anderson, thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. How's your back doing these days working on your van? Lisa, it's doing the best you can, you know. It's I take breaks when I need to. It definitely flares up more often than I would like to, but I guess that's to be expected. Vernon makes a good point. Can we get up to 600 likes? I don't even know how many likes we are at because I'm on StreamYard right now. If you're here and you haven't given the video a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. I hear it helps out. I don't know. What do I know? You have a great weekend yourself, Whittaker. Thank you for being here. Tracy K is out. She's going to bed. Thank you so much, Mom. I hope you have a nice weekend as well. I was going to say Mom Man. And I was like, I don't know if Tracy would appreciate that, but I'm sure she's chill and she just roll with it. All right, let's do our nightcap at this point. There it is. Jeez. Got any ice left? I got a little bit. Not much. Perfect amount for a nightcap. Where'd it go? There it is. Tracy, it's all good. Thank you, Tracy. I knew you'd have my back and be understanding. Oh, we got the likes up. We got the likes up. That's awesome. Thanks, everybody. I greatly appreciate that. Vernon had a goal in mind. He set his mind to it, and he got her done. Appreciate you, Vernon. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so if you're just joining here, we're going to wrap this up fairly soon. Not right away or anything, but just a Q&A. If you got any van life questions, van build questions, or just questions for me in general, throw them into the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Putting 3 capital Qs at the beginning tends to help. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. It's been a fun evening. And oh, somebody says, no, calm down. I'm still here. I just poured a drink. Everybody just relax. Gregory says, challenge. Start with this $10 and see if Lucky survives long enough to save up to buy a Tundra and camper. Oh, God, I hope Lucky does. Yikes, I don't even know what like 200 and some thousand kilometers on her. I hope she does, but I appreciate your super chat towards the future Tundra. Maybe Lucky 3.0 will be a beautiful white with black accent Tundra. You never know. Stranger things have happened. And Gregory Smith, your generous donation is greatly appreciated. Obviously, the rum is getting to my head at this point. It happens. Well, that's what Amber was doing. She was looking for the video with Lucky's weight? Really? Or, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Hey, what's your record length live stream? Asks Sunshine. Who in the chat remembers my longest live stream? Just type the number. Tracy, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it, my dear. That's very generous of you. I hope you are having yourself a fantastic weekend. I'm glad you're hanging out with us right now. Birding Diary says, have you ever had a scary encounter while living in your van with other humans? Not yet. I'm very thankful. Very, 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 very thankful. 3,400 kilograms. Hey, Siri, what's 3,400 kilograms in pounds? Because who the hell does shit with kilograms?
3,400 kilograms is 7,495.72 pounds.
Lucky a hefty girl. And I see all of the answers flying into chat. This is, in fact, the answer to the question. My longest live stream was 10 hours. It was St. Patrick's Day 2023. That's why I didn't do a live stream this St. Patrick's Day. I'm still recovering. How old is Penny? I was sad when you lost Stella. I lost my Ethel, who resembled Stella a few months back. At 19 and a half years old, you got so many good years with your kitty cat. I'm sorry for your loss. That's rough. Unfortunately, I don't know how old Penny is. We'd have to saw her in half and count the rings to be sure. I got her when she was fairly young, but she was a full-grown cat. I wouldn't do that. Calm down. I always thought she was around Stella's age, but since losing Stella, I now realize that she is considerably younger, but I don't know the exact age. For the Tundra, says Trace. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Oh, that's brutal. Can we show some love to Rashonda in the chat? Hey, Matthew, have another drink for me. Recently, I had a stroke, and I'm getting better slowly, but I won't be able to drink until Christmas. But you know what? As shitty as that is, it's good that you're taking care of your health in that regard, and that just means you can look forward to a really, really fun Christmas that way. So you got my thoughts and prayers with you. That's a tough gig, but I'm glad you're on the uptake, and stick with what you need to do in order to get better. Dave Fest says, do you think there will be a Lucky 3.0, or do you see yourself getting something new before that? I know you haven't even finished Lucky 2.0 yet. I think at this point, 3.0 will be a new vehicle. Like, I love the idea of like keeping the name Lucky, but that might take away from the specialty of this being called Lucky. So I think for the sake of argument, Lucky 3.0 will be a new vehicle. And we'll, in the case of tonight, we'll say that it's a Tundra with a camper, right? For sake of argument, that'll be a new name. Because I don't know. I've toyed with the idea of like, what would I do with Lucky? Would I sell Lucky? I don't think I would. That's another reason why I like the idea of eventually getting a property where I can park Lucky and then take her out on trips when I want to, but still have something that might be quote unquote more reliable to do nomadic stuff in the meantime. But then the argument becomes, if I'm living in a house, am I really being nomadic? Probably not, and that's okay. I love the idea of I'm just trying to live my life. Honestly, everybody, give me one more second. I'm just going to go down to, I'm assuming it's D's. Yeah, it's D's super chat here. Treats for Miss Penny. Thank you so much, D. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you for your generosity. I do appreciate that. If I'm being honest, I'm at the point now, you guys, where what I've done and the way I've rebooted my life and where I'm at now with the way my channel is, and that I'm getting to live my life the way I have wanted to live it for a very long time. That's what I want. I just want to enjoy life. I think that's what we should all do. I know that I'm in a very fortunate position with the fact that I'm able to make videos and have that be what I do and have this incredible community around me. I've learned a lot over the last 2.5-ish years of doing this. I started at a very angry, negative place. If you go back and you watch my first few videos, I'm very angry. As much as I'm saying I'm getting over negativity, and I absolutely was. I was processing a lot of anger, and I still carry a lot of that anger with me. Although in this time, I've learned to cope with it better as I've challenged myself to take my life back into my own hands. I don't feel like I really ever did that before. I felt like I was always living for someone else, even though I was being greedy. And as much as I was living for someone else, I was still very much focused on myself, but in the wrong way. And I think that's all going to come out slowly as I continue to tell stories on my channel and whatnot. But I'm at a place in my life where I just want to be happy. And I know that's what we all want. And I know it's silly. Like, oh, you can't just be happy. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I don't know that you necessarily have to do this. And I don't think that you necessarily have to do that. I don't think that we have to be pigeonholed into doing certain things. I love that being happy pisses certain people off. And the fact that I am so fortunate gets under the skin of certain people, because it just tells me that I'm doing something right. And I hope those people that are that negative eventually sort of like, quote unquote, see the light and can come around and realize that they too can be happy if they just sort of change their attitudes. Maybe they won't. It's not for me to lose any sleep over, that's for sure. But I made a change in my life and I took it back into my own hands. And I am like, look what happened. Like, here I am. I'm just hanging out in my van that I'm rebuilding, chatting with you incredible people, having a good time, having some drinks, having some awesome conversation, jokes, answering questions, and just chilling. And I can like go out and get into my car tomorrow and drive and see my daughter and just enjoy life. Because before this, all I was doing was stressing. Like so many of us, stressing over this, stressing over that. I got to do this. I got to go there. I got to make this payment. I got to give this person that. And it's just, I don't know, man. It can be challenging to be in the position I'm in when I feel like I'm a bit too much of an empath like I am. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I do feel a lot for a lot of other people. And I wish that I could impart my ability to entertain people and my personality onto other people, because then I think those people might have the ability to be more, not successful, but happier in their lives. And maybe that's a fallacy. That could be absolutely not true. But it's been a great journey for me, and that's what I'm excited to continue doing. Sorry, that was a rant. I apologize. Do not count the rings. We're back at cutting Penny in half. Vernon says, check my phone. Oh, thank you very much. Vernon sent me, we're going to call it a super chat for $130 Canadian over on the good old PayPals. Vernon, thank you very much, sir. We're going to put that towards the Tundra, I think. That's very, 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 very generous of you, sir. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, just, you guys have no reason to do that. You got no reason to dip into your bank accounts and send me super chats and support me in the way that you do, other than the fact that you enjoy what I'm doing. That I'll never get used to that. I will never get used to the fact that I can do what I love and make a living off of it. And it's largely in part because of everybody here. Not even largely, completely and entirely. if y'all weren't watching, if y'all weren't supporting me on Patreon, if y'all weren't sending me these super chats and donations on PayPal, that's it. I'm done. I can't. Everybody's got to make a living, right? Especially as a parent, when you have those responsibilities, you can't just slack off and expect things to fall into place. You got to work hard for it. And it's still hard for me to say that I work hard. I know I do, and I know people will give me shit if I say that I don't. But when you do what you love, it's true. It doesn't feel like hard work. But I'm trying to learn that taking a minute and realizing that what I am doing is hard work. That's still a challenge for me for sure. But I'm just taking this moment. I guess all I'm saying is thank you to everybody. I have so much fun doing this. It's really incredible when I look back on the way my life was before compared to what it is now. And I hope a lot of people can just sort of take as much as they can away from me, and maybe at the very least they're entertained and they get a laugh from what I'm doing, and at the most maybe they're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I don't know. Oh, Ian, that's very kind of you. See, and that's it. That's awesome. And it's like this weird part of me is like, I talk about this and I say thanks, and then Ian does something generous like that. We want to see you succeed. I appreciate that. All you had to do was type it, bro. You didn't have to send that, but I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And you know it. And I hope you're being safe down there, upside down. That blood rushing to your head must really bother you. But thank you again, dude. You've been a huge supporter this evening, especially. And I appreciate it. And thank you again to Vernon and everybody else and everybody who's here. Everybody's who's hanging out. Like, it's Saturday night. Y'all could be doing whatever you want. You're here hanging out with me. Like, oh, what's that fool doing in his van wearing his weird purple Dixon? I don't know. It's just one of those things. You get more talky the more you drink. It's just the way it is, too. That's why they call it liquid courage. You start speaking what you actually think. Lots of Canadians are living in the Philippines. I don't think I could get lucky over to the Philippines, though. I think it might cost a pretty penny. Oh, Aussie Jack, it's Sunday, actually. Sunday evening. That explains too much. Blood rushing to the head. Gregory Smith says, I've not posted, but I have filmed and edited a few videos, so I have immense respect for the amount of work you must put in with the frequency, length, quality of your videos. Thank you very much, Gregory. I appreciate that. Right? You don't need a van, says Halifax Computers Repair. I do if I want to stay warm. Rent is $250 per month in the Philippines. Well, here's the problem. Rent is $250 in the Philippines, but then I'm in the Philippines. Could you imagine the commute to see Brooklyn Monday through Thursday if I was living in the Philippines? I feel like the airfare alone would kill me. Just saying. Love all your Dixons. Well, thank you very much. I'm a pretty big fan of them, too. Hey, Naj is here. I haven't seen you forever. I hope you're doing well. Maybe you came in late. Maybe you just joined now, but welcome to the live chat. Happy Saturday to you, Naj. Was there a new fridge tour earlier that I missed? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Lori. There's no new fridge here. But you didn't miss anything. Am I coming to Saskatoon? Who the hell wants to go to Saskatoon? I'm kidding. I've been there actually quite a few times. I do like Saskatoon as a town. I like it better than Regina. I don't have any plans to go there, but we'll see. Maybe if I do that drive to Chicago again, I'll stop there. Hey, Robert Mitchell, how you doing? Welcome to the live chat, sir. April 6th is Tartan Day? Well, there we go. I should have been wearing tartan. Is that what this is? This isn't tartan. Is it? I don't know. Also, hello, Cheryl. I've been lurking, says Naj. Well, that's all right. We allowed it lurking. You would need your own private jet. Lucky 5.0. Nailed it. That's, I don't know. There's no Andrew, I don't know what there's no new poop apartment either, okay? Just calm down, sir. There's no new poop apartment. Saskatoon, I had to bolt. I don't think Aaron Blood really enjoyed Saskatoon all too much. Halifax, computers repair. My moolah comes from business, fixing electronics. He wants me to help him build his box trucks, too. I don't think I can get that kind of time off from my daughter, but I'll run it past Brooklyn. We'll run it up the flagpole, as they say. Jet Life Plus. There you go. Oh, Andrew's onto my shenanigans. That's no good. Mama Ree, how you doing? Robert Mitchell says, so have you finished your build? Not yet. We're about 50% done, hence the whole live from Lucky 1.5. I am working on it. Okay, hang on. We're gonna take a bio break here, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, but we're gonna roll this video for everybody to watch. I'll be right back. Everybody just calm down. See you in however long this video is. And there we go. Now nobody can see anything new in Lucky. And with that, I'm going to say thank you all for joining me on this awesome Saturday. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys. Very excited to share some future videos with you coming up next week. So until then, just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive. And remember, only dead fish go with the flow.